Battleground game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really badass.
It does, but it doesn't. I don't know. It looks too much like every other shooting game out there. It sounds like a great idea though.
It doesn't.
Where you actually get to be the predator.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the gameplay of it?
Yep. I've watched the gameplay. I watched Jim Sterling's review of it. What's his name? The guy, the angry Irish or Australian dude.
There's a lot of those.
You watch Yahtzee? He's on The Escapist. I watch all of his stuff. And his review of it, and both of them, but they are really, really tough on games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't let stuff slide.
That's kind of how you have to be to get, I guess, get the best.
Well, there's so many of them that are just kissing.
A lot of our paid reviews, yeah, for sure.
Paid and kissing
ass,
kissing butt. But those two, like Sterling, if you haven't watched Sterling, he just called out, like he'll call out the developers and everybody if they make a bad game. And that's what Yahtzee, I like Yahtzee, he's got one where it's things that the game industry hasn't learned, but they should have learned by now because they keep making the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I think a lot of that's studio interference.
That is loud as shit.
Is it? Let me turn down your...
No, I don't. I'm just not used to it.
Okay. I'll turn this down a little bit for you. How's that?
Perfect. So how do you do this?
How do you do a podcast?
No, how do you want to go about this discussion?
Oh.
Do you want to keep it on one form of media or on all forms of media?
I guess we'll just run the gambit. We'll kind of take everything.
Because I think it's overall on all media right now.
Yeah, you kind of have to. We'll take it kind of, I guess we'll take everything one section at a time, but we can kind of refer to each.
I think that so much of it is intertwined.
It really is.
Where not only, not only the media, but the points for and against apply to everything basically right now.
Yeah.
Because so much of it is just tied to each other now.
Yeah. They were like Sam Jackson's Nick Fury. They designed, because he was based off of what was the universe Miles Morales is originally from?
619?
Yeah, it's Ultimate Universe. That's what the colloquial term.
Right.
Like his Nick Fury was based off Sam Jackson because they knew they wanted him to play him.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they incorporated him into the regular Marvel universe.
Yeah.
The 616.
No, he's not in 616. He's not Nick Fury in that. He's just Nick Fury in the movies and the Ultimate Universe. But I
thought that they transferred him over when they brought him into like the Avengers cartoons and stuff. Because it's based on Sam Jackson's characters in the
but
TV
every
series, all of them.
Yeah, every like iteration is a different universe. Mm-hmm. Is the way I've come to like kind of get things. Yeah. No, I think a lot of people have said like the movies are their own universe. Mm-hmm. They have a designated number for the movies.
Right.
I can't think of what it is, and I believe they basically just were like, yeah, every cartoon or whatever, it's its own universe, in case they ever want to cross stuff over or whatever.
Right. Well, yeah, that's kind of how it would have to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the way I look at comic books is.
Yeah.
Like each story is that could have happened at this time or that time, or maybe it's just one event that happened that day.
Yeah.
Like Batman fights Kite Man, and it's one issue, and it's over by three-quarters of the way through. You go, oh, okay, I see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, that was just one fight that Batman had that day.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of, yeah, that's really what a lot of comics are. Mm-hmm. But radically different, so they're not super the same a lot of the time. Yeah, like if you read I don't know if you read a lot of DC.
I try to read a lot of everything. Right now I'm working through, I'm about a quarter of the way through Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing.
Okay. Yeah, I know they were kind of bringing him. They kind of brought him back in Justice League Dark.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little part with him in there, and they kind of used him. And I think that's kind of
Swamp Thing or Alan Moore?
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
But
they've used him a couple of times in Dark because he's closely associated with Constantine now.
Yeah, because of the whole mystical art stuff.
Yep.
And all that. The White Knight. It's Batman the White Knight, and it's not Batman. It's about the Joker basically being the White Knight.
Yep.
And him like turning over a new leaf and
and Bruce Wayne being the Joker.
No,
isn't that, or is that the other one?
No, that's a spin-off from Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah, where
no, this is like a separate, like a one-shot contained. It's only like 8 issues. I think they're bringing back more of it, but it was it's Batman being Batman, and there's Batgirl and Robin in it, and he kind of finds some drug combination that stops his psychosis for a while, and there's like somebody steps up to kind of be the new Joker, and a whole big thing happens, and they have to use him to save it, and they incorporate a bunch of the old style Batmobiles, like from Adam West, Michael Keaton, and it's a really I got it if you want to read it.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
I have to look it up. I don't really read physical comic books anymore. It's all on my phone.
Yeah, but it's probably one of my favorite newer modern Batman stories.
Right.
Because he gets real, like he beats the shit out of the Joker, and then Batgirl and Robin are like, "You're gonna kill him. You need to pull you back." Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's kind of incorporating a little bit Killing Joke and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested in what runs do we have coming up.
I haven't kept up with a whole lot of the new stuff for like 2 years or so.
The new Venom series, I'm super into.
Are they redoing that one then? Because they've had the new one out for a while.
No, this is, I guess, a new one.
Okay.
I mean, the writer on it has only done 3 other comic books, and 2 of them were independents. And then he did, what other one? He did something else for Marvel, and they put him on Venom. And now he's doing Eddie Brock's back being Venom and going into a bunch of...
Yeah, he's been Venom for a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
But he's still writing it. Mm-hmm. And I guess that one's supposed to turn into... like they're going to get into... God, what's the bad guy's name?
Carnage?
No.
Because they had Maximum Carnage come out. That was a series of him.
The Lord of the Symbiotes, the one that created all of them. Kraven?
It's something like that.
No, Kraven's the Hunter.
No, Kraven the Hunter, but it's something cool sounding.
I know it starts with a K.
I cannot think of the name of it. That's usually why I have this right here.
Yeah.
Can you bring this over just a little bit and talk more into the... Yeah, because like this, like right here where it has that little S symbol, that's where the microphone's at. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, I see what you're saying.
Because I hear you cutting in and out a little bit. Because he, there was a big backstory where he created that. Could you ever read Thor, God Butcher series?
No, it's on my... No, I haven't read that one yet.
Okay.
I've got about halfway through the Cancer Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Thor series.
Yeah. She-Thor, or Lady Thor, they call her.
I can't spell.
But, yeah, that ties into that because the God Butcher uses a weapon that was created by the symbiote master dude.
Yeah, the sword.
Yeah, I cannot think of the Necro Sword or whatever it's called.
No, that's
what it... Yeah, no. Yep. Maybe it was something cool, new agey.
Yeah, very edgelord.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was based on, they took that weapon is in Ragnarok. His sister Hela's weapon. She's like a combination of 3 or 4 different
something I don't know.
bad guys.
I don't know her lore in Marvel.
She's just Loki's daughter.
Yeah,
she's Loki's daughter. She's in charge of Hell.
They kind of allude. They never come out and say that though, in anything I've ever read. But they allude to it a lot. And she is Loki's daughter in real mythology.
Like on the wiki, that's basically it.
Yeah.
She's Loki's daughter. She's in charge of Hell.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that doesn't die and go to Valhalla ends up
There.
in Hell.
Or
And
one of
she's
the
in charge of it.
one of the afterlives.
Yeah, she's had a couple of romantic interests.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't. I mean, that's basically her power set. Is she's the Lord of Death.
Yeah.
And that's it.
There's
She can't manifest swords. She can't fly. She can't. Well, I think she can fly.
probably fly in her own realm.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah,
If
in her
she's
own
Lord
realm.
of it.
Yeah, but she can't manifest weapons or anything like that. That was at least one of the God Butchers. Was it the God Butcher? Could the God Butcher manifest swords or shoot swords?
No, because his name was Gorn, and he was just an alien who was.
But he had the
wasn't-
weapon that could kill gods.
Yeah, he had the symbiote sword thing that gave him more power.
Mm-hmm. There's another. God, there's so many bad guys.
Yeah.
There was some other Thor bad guy. I think it was from. Now I can't think of it.
There's
One of the big,
so many of them.
One of the. When Thor was outcast and wasn't really Thor.
Oh, when he was just unworthy. Thor the Unworthy,
yes. One of the bad guys from Unworthy, the main bad guy, could manifest swords, manifest weapons.
I didn't read a whole lot of that. I've read. It's funny we bring up Hela because when the Do Run of Thor, they had this weird, almost like a cell shade art. It's kind of cool. I can show you. He has to go to Hell. I can't remember exactly why, and because they had to go get Loki or something. Loki tricked him going there, and they end up having to fight for everything. And Thanos shows up for like a quick little cameo, and he talks to Hela because she's like represents death. Because the whole him being in love with her.
Yep.
But it's like, is she really death, or is it just she's one facet of it?
I think death is. At least in the Marvel universe, it's like an overarching, like...
Yeah, and she's just an avatar of it.
She's just an avatar of death.
Yeah.
Like, would be in, like, the Sandman series or something.
Yeah.
You know, where death can show up in many different forms, but it's still the same person.
Yeah, but she has, like, a defined role and personality and all that, which makes her kind of... It puts her in a weird spot, I think, for that.
Yeah.
But unique. But I just thought that was kind of funny because he like broke it off with her and that. It was really dramatic. It was kind of funny.
I am so upset they did not have the Thanos in love with death in
I'm
Endgame
kind of surprised they didn't do
Infinity
that.
War. I think they thought it was too cheesy.
Probably, or maybe I don't know. They just need to.
They already had the Vision and Wanda love story.
Yeah, that
They
ends
already had.
way different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw something. Do you watch the YouTube channel Mostly Nitpicking?
Mm-mm.
Or it's a podcast. It's Mostly Nitpicking. But the guy that runs that podcast has a YouTube channel also where he does like one tiny change in a movie. So like in the new Phoenix movie, he changed who the bad guy was.
Yeah.
Instead of being the weird alien lady that was in it, it was...
She was supposed to be... What she was, they couldn't get the rights exactly to,
I think it was supposed to be one of the bird bad guys.
What are they called? I can't even think of what they're called now. They shapeshift, I know that.
You mean Skrulls?
Yeah. No, she wasn't no, not a Skrull. The other people, like, that Captain Marvel got her powers from.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Kree,
about.
the Kree. I think they were supposed to be Kree originally, but they don't have the rights to it, so they kind of made an off-brand
I thought
Kree.
it was supposed to be one of the one that Xavier fell in love with in the comics. The one that was in the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Gladiator is one of their main superhero
the
guys.
Shi'ar.
Shi'ar, that's
Shi'ar.
it. I thought it was supposed to be that.
Oh, maybe it was that, because they incorporate everybody. They're not just, like, purists. I think the Shi'ar Empire just taking anybody.
Right. I mean, you have to be
badass or
not
have
just
value.
that, but you also have to be. I think you have to be royalty or anything like that. But
yeah. But I assume it's kind of like
world building on that's crazy. So.
Oh yeah. You could, yeah. Well, that's also really flexible because you can bring in anybody.
Yeah.
And it could Shi'ar can always be a different threat.
I'm surprised that the X-Men movies didn't go more in the cosmic direction.
I think it's hard because they don't have license for all the properties.
Maybe.
Because they only owned X-Men, Deadpool, and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but it was X-Men and all of their rogues gallery.
Yeah, kind of. Because certain properties like Wanda and Quicksilver, because Marvel used them. They were in that weird in between limbo where they could both of them can use them. Mm-hmm. So maybe they just had legal trouble.
I'm just saying with how involved like Starjammers are in the comics, how involved like Mojo World is involved in the comics.
Yeah, he's a weird
all
dude.
Of those sorts of things. I would think that they would bring more of that into. But maybe that's the direction we're going in the movies.
Maybe. Or maybe it was just limited, like CGI or something too.
That could have been too. Yeah, I could not. Mojo in the
that'd be hard.
Late 90s. Oh,
yeah. Have you seen the Fantastic Four, the 90s version?
Oh,
the
yeah.
movie?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, I've seen little clips. I'm like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Have you seen the Captain America?
They're great. The second one's terrible, but the first one is great because it's bad, I think.
Yeah, I think both of them are great. And I love that they stick with Captain America. In the first one, Captain America steals a car.
Yeah, that was
Second
funny.
one, Captain America steals a car. In the Marvel universe, Captain America steals a car. I like that it's just that kind of continuity.
There's a little bit.
Is what I like about it.
I wish they would have had the actor who played the original Captain America make like a cameo.
Oh, that would have been good.
Like just have a picture of him.
Like
Like,
an Ant-Man?
No, just have a picture of him, like in Steve's house, and be like, yeah, that's my grandpa.
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. Like in the Ant-Man movie, where the dude from Saturday Night Live that did the first on-air appearance of Ant-Man.
Oh, okay.
And they did a skit back in like the 70s, late 70s, early 80s of a superhero party.
No,
and
okay.
a black dude played Ant-Man. And he was a cab driver in the Ant-Man movie.
Oh, he was? That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. They should have made him Goliath then. Not Morgan Freeman.
Fishburne?
Yeah, Fishburne. He was Goliath.
Well, that's who he's going to be
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, no, that's who he was when he said, I use I got up to whatever.
Because
he's even though Goliath's kind of supposed to be a younger dude.
Well, I'm hoping this guy, Nando versus Movies. That's the name of the YouTube channel.
Okay.
He does, he did one about Wanda just recently. And that one, I think he's hit that right on the head.
I've been wondering about WandaVision.
I think WandaVision, so you know the story where Wanda disassembles
Yeah.
the X-Men?
Yeah, it's House of M.
Disassembles
Yeah.
the
Avengers disassembled, and then it goes into House of M. Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see
Probably.
in WandaVision.
That's what I'm thinking. A lot of kooky
Because a
reality
lot of
bending
the-
stuff.
Well, that and also, if you've seen any of the trailers, there's a lot of different,
Yeah.
it looks like it's different TV shows in different eras and stuff.
Yeah, one looks like a 50s.
Yeah, one looks like Married with Children.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be her hallucinations.
Yeah, of her breaking mentally.
Right. And then in Doctor Strange 2, that's where she's going to be trained by
To use her
Doctor
powers.
Strange properly.
Yeah.
But in between the two of them, I think
shit's
House
gonna
of
happen.
M is where we get mutants coming into into the
that would
series,
make sense.
where she doesn't say no more mutants. She says, they're all mutants, or let there be mutants, or something like that, and mutants pop into existence.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Because, that would make sense with her bending reality, basically. Right. And if she alters things.
And they've really depowered her in the movies.
Oh, yeah. She is
one of the most
She's Phoenix 5 level powerful.
Omega.
Yeah.
Omega level.
Because, I don't know if you know the Phoenix 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she was, she could take, from what I remember, her showing up to kind of save the day for a hot minute. She basically fought off 2 of them, I believe. I want to say
single-handedly.
Yeah, and pretty. So I'm like, she's.
And I think it was Cyclops, and
I think that was after he died. It might have been, or maybe it was him.
Well, Cyclops was one of the original Phoenix 5.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a particular.
It might have
one.
been the second set.
I think it because Colossus was one of them, and his sister was one of them.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's got to be the second, because I think this was after Cyclops died. I'm not sure.
Okay. Fair.
I'm not 100%.
Yeah, well, continuity, man.
Yeah. There's so much of it out there. It's hard to keep it all together.
But that's what's great about it.
Yeah.
You keep finding new stuff.
Or you keep forgetting stuff.
I think that's the point. I think that the days of a quote-unquote comic book nerd going, oh, no. In number 337, this is what happened. I read it.
Mm-hmm.
I think those days are done, and I think that's good, because I think it gets rid of some of the gatekeeping.
Kind of. I think it is to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
When it'll be that way if you're talking about a specific universe.
With some people.
Yeah. I'm saying like if you did a versus, you're like Scarlet Witch versus Raven from Teen Titans.
Okay.
Because they're I'm not talking power wise as far as scale, but they're similar in a lot of ways.
Their power sets are very similar.
Yeah, they're emotion based, and they can warp reality. I think Scarlet Witch is probably more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe unless Raven maybe gets older.
Throws a little Trigun.
Yeah.
Or turns White Raven.
Yeah, or maybe. She gets older and her powers grow as she goes more demon, or incorporates more of that.
Well, that was kind of the point of White Raven. White Raven was more powerful than Black Raven.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it being older, wiser, being more in control. And
have you read any of that stuff?
I've read
of the older Raven stuff. Oh man, there's some good older Raven stuff out there.
I read a little bit of the newer Teen Titans stuff.
Well, this is like when she's not in Teen Titans anymore.
Okay.
But this was like late 90s, early 2000s, when they were trying to kind of put popular characters in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she worked with Constantine a little bit.
That makes sense.
She was part of, what's the one that starts with a Z?
A group?
What's the magician's name?
Zatanna?
Yeah, Zatanna.
Yeah.
And the Boston dude. Like, she worked with a little group of them for a while.
Dead Man?
Maybe.
He's the guy who's dead and floats around and...
Yeah, and has a bee on his chest for some reason.
A bee? No, that's not him. He has like a red outfit, and he's like ghostly white because he's a ghost.
Yeah, and he has the big red D on his chest.
Right? It might be.
Maybe
does he have a D? Maybe he does have a D.
I can't remember if it's a D or a B. But I know that he died in Boston.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Dead Man.
I'm pretty sure that's
because they're like the new Justice League Dark, basically.
Well, and that was kind of a precursor to that.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And they kind of took the popular characters from that and kind of regrouped them into Justice League Dark.
Yeah. But they have, in the newer ones, they have Wonder Woman in it, too. She's kind of like the leader. The
de facto leader.
Basically, yeah. Like with...
Well, that Constantine's not a good leader.
No. He even says it in it. He's like, I don't want to be... I'm like, I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to fuck this up. Can't count on me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just because she's a big part of that, of a few of the storylines where they get more, they do a little retconning and put more of her backstory in it, where She has like a kind of like a sleeper cell thing inside of her where she's part of like a ritual and stuff.
Well, that kind of makes sense. I mean, she's attached to the gods.
Yeah, but it was she stumbled upon some godlike being. It was like 3 sisters or something, and then
Sisters of Fate, maybe?
Not 3 sisters, but there were 3 of them that had this thing in them, and they were slowly getting taken over. And they had special powers, and eventually it's, crazy amped up Wonder Woman who's half zombified looking, fighting, and they have to try to, stop her.
Nice.
Because she's pretty much Superman level.
Yeah, I would say, she's Superman's equal, I would think.
Just about. She's not quite as strong, but she's more tactical, and she's a better fighter, and she has god weapons.
Right.
Which means, like, her tiara can be thrown, and it can cut Superman's skin.
Right.
Same with her weapons. So that makes her equal, if not actually better, in a lot of ways.
Oh, man, Superman. Nobody's beaten Superman yet.
The guy behind you did. Couple times.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes. This is where I say Batman can beat Superman. Batman might not be able to beat a Kryptonian. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Because they're friends.
I do agree. And it depends on how much prep time Batman has.
Exactly. But because Superman will always hold back, even if he's controlled. Like when in Hush, the comic Hush.
Yeah.
He's like, I know Clark's holding back.
Right.
He could have destroyed me. He could have pound me in the concrete.
Right.
Because he will always hold back, and that's why Batman can beat Superman.
But it's not really. I mean, I'm talking. Beating is.
Yeah.
Okay, you're dead.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
he can. He won't. I mean, actually, he did, and it was one of the Dark Knight's metal. It was one of my favorite parts. I can't think of it. It's where he's. Have you read any Dark Knight's metal?
No. I want to though.
Oh, do you want me to spoil this part for you?
No, that's fine. No, I don't mind spoilers.
It's basically different versions of Batman that have different powers, and they're all kind of like Justice League opposites.
Okay.
Because there's like a Green Lantern Batman. There's an Aquaman Batman who's a woman. I can't think of what I can't remember what her name was. Bryce or something like that. They kind of flipped it. Right. But there's a Batman equivalent to Superman. He's Doomsday. And Batman in that universe.
Batman is Doomsday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he goes into that universe, and because evil Joker Batman is recruiting all these guys.
Okay.
Yeah, and they go into the universe, and there's a one shot of him, and it's Batman or Superman's basically like, all right, I'm gonna run this shit. It's like Injustice, and then it's Batman fighting him, and he has a kryptonite spear, and Superman heat visions his arm off,
nice,
and he's like, I've been holding back. You don't think you can really beat me, basically. And he's like, well, we're going to find out. And he hits this thing, and it says Doomsday virus. And he becomes Doomsday. And he has, like, kryptonite infused into him.
Wow.
And he just murders Superman. But it releases the virus throughout the entire world. And, like...
so everybody becomes Doomsday?
Yeah. There's a part where Lois Lane is bringing Superboy to like a bunker, and she's like slowly turning like, you need to get away from me, get in here, hide. Yeah, it's crazy. He's like, I don't want anyone to ever have to bow down to you. I want to be, basically.
Oh, I agree that Batman can beat anybody. I mean, with enough prep time.
The trope, yeah.
I mean, well, how many times has he beat up the Justice League? How many times has his plans been stolen?
A lot. Tower of Babel and all that.
Yeah, I mean...
He has the Justice Buster.
Yeah, I mean, he plans for every inevitability, whether it's going to happen or not.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Why not?
I mean, that's part of the great... That's what's great about at least the DC universe, is that they are very much... This is Superman, this is Batman, this is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
This is Flash. They're all very...
There's a bunch of different Flashes, but yeah.
Well, they all have like their own quote unquote family behind them.
Yeah.
But they are very much, there's not much crossover between them.
What do you mean by that? Like
Superman and well, that's not a good one. But Wonder Woman and Flash do not have a lot of the same skill set.
No, not at all.
Martian Manhunter and the Green Lantern do not have a lot of the same skill set.
Yeah, that's true. Superman and Wonder Woman do have a lot of difference.
Well, that's kind of because it's the male version and the female version of the perfect being, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas in Marvel, Iron Man and Tony Stark and Peter Parker have a lot of crossover.
Yeah, they have science.
They're both geniuses.
And
Bruce Banner and Tony Stark, because they're both geniuses. Reed Richards and Peter Parker have a lot of crossover because they're both geniuses.
Yeah, but that plays to it too, because they can scientifically work things together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And sometimes they'll say, you know, brute force isn't needed here. We can solve this with our mind.
Well, that's the direction they're going in more and more. Everything needs to be worked out logically.
Yeah. I have when I explain DC and Marvel to people, at least my thought of it is that Marvel makes characters you can relate to, and you can say, oh, I see myself in that. Where DC makes characters like Superman, you go, I want to be like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to be
that
larger
good.
than life. I want to be bigger and better. I want to be Batman, where there's nothing is impossible.
Oh yeah, that's a great way of looking at it. I tell my kids, I go, all right, so in Marvel Universe, the person under the costume is the real person.
Yeah, that's how it is, really.
In DC, the person out of the costume, or the person in the costume, is the real person. So Clark Kent is not, he's the costume.
He's the secret identity, yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne is the secret. Bruce Wayne is really Batman.
Yeah, he thinks of himself as Batman.
Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman, not Diana.
She is she is Diana,
right?
Who is Wonder Woman?
But her plain clothes, her secret identity is not the real person.
Yeah,
you know, the Flash is the Flash. Barry Allen is kind of the costume.
Kind of, yeah. That one's not quite as defined.
Not quite as hard to find.
But then I guess you can kind of say that because there's more than one Flash. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of a mantle to it.
Right. It's kind of like, like Shazam, where it's
whoever's the Guardian. Yeah.
Guardian.
Which there's something I really love about Shazam and Captain, the original Captain Marvel, is that Billy Batson, when he transforms, that's part of his memory of his dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because who's your superhero when you're young?
Oh yeah,
it's your dad.
Yeah,
for a lot of people.
That's great.
So his form is with what little he remembers of his dad.
Right.
So I love that about that.
I do love it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's why I make that distinction of Marvel and DC.
Right.
He literally becomes who he wants to be.
Yeah, I think that's great. But in Marvel, the Iron Man is Tony Stark is always Tony Stark.
Yeah.
He's not Iron Man when he's outside of the suit.
Yeah.
You know, Peter Parker's not Spider-Man the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big distinction between the two of them.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a big
DC
one. DC
is the examination of how should gods act.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I loved. It was in the animated movie of Justice League Dark. I don't know if you watched that at all.
Yeah, which one?
Justice League Dark.
I've only watched the movies.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
what I'm saying.
both of the movies.
There's the one with Batman, Zatanna, Constantine, and all that. In the very beginning, when Batman's talking to the League and he doesn't really believe about the whole magic thing.
Right.
I love that line when he's like, you need to spend more time in the streets than just flying over them. Mm-hmm. I love that little, you need to get down to earth.
Yeah.
And get off your high horse.
That's what I loved about Zack Snyder, Batman vs. Superman. Everybody makes fun of the Martha scene at the end.
No, that makes, if you've ever lost a parent, yeah. Because I have, and I know that feeling even when I meet someone named Mark, I'm like, there's a little bit in me that feels a little something.
I didn't know about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah.
I thought that it was great because when Superman says Martha,
it triggers him.
I can see it click in his head. Oh my gosh, he is a little human. He is.
He has a family.
He was raised here. He was raised by humans. There is humanity
This is his home.
in him. This is his home. That's what so I thought it was great. But it was the 3.5 hour version. The short version's still not that good.
The extended version it clears up a lot because you didn't know. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff it clears up because they had a lot. There's a little tweak to it that I think would have made the movie better. I've seen a lot of people say this. Instead of it being Doomsday, I think it should have been Lex got a hold of some of Superman's DNA.
Bizarro.
Yep.
Yeah.
And instead of
that was an Andoverse movies that came up with that in the first place.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard a lot of people.
That was the first place I heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people on the internet making that, and it should have been Batman should have stopped and been like, "Oh shit, find your mom. I'm gonna fight him because I've been building weapons to fight Kryptonians, even though Bizarro shouldn't have his."
Well, I mean, with the way that it came about, with being made with Kryptonian technology and all that,
But I think he should have just been Bizarro, made not necessarily at the ship, but Lex should have taken things.
I think that was the original intention.
It should have been, and then Batman should have said.
At a lot of the stuff in the movie, what was it that this guy he pointed out that on the cell or whatever that he was in, that it would have spelled Bizarro.
Okay, yeah.
When he came out,
and he would have saw that and said, "That's my name."
That's my name. Yeah, exactly. Man, Lex. Has there ever been a good movie version of Lex?
Not really.
I don't know why they can't get that. Right.
The thing with Jesse Eisenberg, I give it a pass because they allude to him being Lex Jr.
Oh yeah,
they really do.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good point.
Because if it had been, I feel like, if it had been real, like adult, normal Lex, he would have been more stoic, strong. Right. He would have given off that vibe, like I own the room I'm in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my question: is why can't they get Lex right? They can get him right in the cartoons. They can get him right in the animated universe.
Maybe they did. They just wanted to go with something different.
I don't know. And it's the same bad. I think that's what the next Superman movie has to do. They have to switch up the bad guy. It can't be Lex Luthor again.
Yeah.
It has to be like Brainiac or Bizarro or Doomsday. It has to be.
Well, they already kind of used Doomsday. I guess they can bring him back. Yeah.
I mean,
he wasn't really a big character to begin with. He was kind of a minor character in the comics.
Is Apocalypse's
general. Yeah.
General. I mean, so I get that we're trying to go in that direction.
They weren't originally. A lot of that was re-edits.
I know. That's what. I mean, there's a clip online of Steppenwolf punching at Superman, and it looks like a claymation fist, and I can't get over it. I mean, that movie was so bad.
It was bad.
But they tried.
Yeah, I really wish they wouldn't have killed Superman. I really wish it would have been, at that moment, pulls back the spear, says, "Go find, I'll fight Doomsday." Mm-hmm. They could have had the Wonder Woman. They should have just left Wonder Woman as that girl just a random lady he bumps into, and you go, "Is that Wonder Woman?"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, that would have been great. Yeah. That would have been such a great, and then Wonder Woman movie comes out, and you're like, "Oh, she was in Batman v Superman." Yeah.
Yeah, they rushed it so much.
They did. But I think they should have killed Bizarro, said, like, "All right, we're friends now." Mm-hmm. You know, had the whole, like, what's your favorite dinosaur? Velociraptor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it would have been great if they would have, like, found a mother box at the end of that.
Yeah. And, like, we got to work on this.
Oh, no, and used it to send Bizarro to, what's the fifth dimension?
Up to Apocalypse.
No, to where Mitzi Pixel's from.
Mr. Mixelpidalic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And used the boom tube
to send him there?
Bizarro to there.
Yeah, that could have been a whole...
Because then he could have brought him back later and been like, dude, don't drop your trash in the fifth dimension, man.
They could have.
And it could have spun off into that. I mean, there's so many.
But I think they should have.
Little tweaks they could have done that would have made that better.
They should have waited to kill Superman in a few movies. Like, he should have died maybe in the Justice League movie. And then they could have had the whole reign of Superman.
That's. I think that the death of Superman should have been like the Iron Man trilogy was in Marvel.
Yeah.
Where he dies at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
After we've had a couple of movies of him being the ultimate Boy Scout.
Yeah. That's how, yeah. I could see that. Or have that and then him. I think he should die in a Justice League movie. In a sacrificial way. Yeah.
Possibly die in the third Justice League. Have the third movie be the Justice League movie and have him die in that, possibly.
But, yeah, then have the...
Sacrifice himself.
Yeah. To, like, fight Apocalypse or something. And then they had the reign of the Supermen with, Steel and Cyborg Superman. I mean,
that's almost exactly how they did it in the
that's how it's
universe.
Yeah, that's how they did in the comics.
Yeah.
After he died fighting Doomsday.
Yeah.
But not Shaq as Steel.
Come on, man.
Give him a cameo, but
come on.
That movie's terrible.
Yeah, but Shaq wants to be Superman so bad.
Yeah, he does. He's got the stature for a Superman character.
He does. He's kind of got the John Henry look.
He does.
He does kind of.
But he needs acting
lessons.
lessons.
He's not smart enough, though.
No, he's not.
Because John Henry's a genius.
Yeah, he is. So, coming up with the whole,
who would be
essentially Iron Man suit.
Who would you have play John Henry?
Kevin Hart. I'm just kidding.
Idris Elba. That's it.
He's not big enough, I don't think. I think Shaq was the perfect stature to play a character like that, a Superman character.
Yeah, but he can't. He's not a good enough actor for it.
But they need somebody with that body type, I think.
So the dude from...
Or at least somebody...
Green Mile?
Bigger. He's dead.
Terry
Michael Clark
Crews?
Duncan.
Yeah, I know.
Terry Crews.
Think Terry Crews could play John Henry?
I think so. I don't know. He's always good for a funny character. I think John Henry
does have a little... He could play a stoic character, I think.
Yeah, he can. I think they might... He might be a good
John
fit
Henry
for that.
does have... In the comics, at least, John Henry has a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually in Dark
kind
Knight's
of like
Metal,
a
too.
dad joke kind of character in the comics.
Yeah. Like I said, he's in the Dark Knight's Metal, where they help figure out... I can't think of what it's called, but it's left by the Anti-Monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in that. But sidetracking a bit.
No, that's fine. No.
What was I going to say? But yeah, Terry Crews would be good. If they made him just like a little quippy here and there.
I think we just need to call
casted
up
it.
Universal
I know, right?
and let them know.
Make Terry Crews be John Henry.
Right.
Steel. Because I think that would be there'd be a good moment where he has to fight outside the suit. And I think someone being that powerful physically, it would make sense for him to just throw people around until he got to somebody more of his equal. And then he has to use his mind to beat him and, like...
So you would have to team up with one of the other Supermen.
No, I mean, like, somebody non-superpowered he fights.
Right, right. But
Fan
then
hand.
So he fights through a crowd of goons.
Yeah.
Right? Because his suit breaks or whatever.
Yeah, because maybe they have, like,
Then
enhanced
he has
weapons.
To get with... Which one? Can't be Cyborg Superman.
No, he's
Superboy.
Hank Henshaw's evil.
So he gets to Superboy, right?
Which Superboy, though?
The one, Reign of Superman.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And he has... Because Superboy's teenager.
Yeah.
And he has to help Superboy with taking down Cyborg Superman. Or stopping Vindicator and Cyborg from fighting.
That could. I think it would actually be cool.
I think that would work.
I think a Reign of Superman movie would have to be really long, but it could.
I think you do it in 3 parts.
Maybe.
I think you introduce Steel and Superboy in the first one, and they're your main characters, right?
Have an Easter egg of Superboy being created from Lex.
Yeah. That's the big reveal in the second one.
No, I mean like an Easter egg in a previous movie of Lex, like in a cloning chamber, because he's a mix of Lex and Superman.
Yeah. Okay, that could work. Yeah.
And
then the second one, you introduce the Cyborg and Is it Vindicator?
Eradicator.
Eradicator.
I think it
those
should.
two.
I think the first one should center around Steel, though.
Yeah, Steel could be
yeah.
your point of origin character.
Yeah, because he's like, oh, Superman's gone. What am I gonna do?
Right.
And then he finds Superboy eventually, or something.
And then him and Superboy get into a little scuffle at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And Eradicator and Cyborg come down, or you could have just one of them come down at the end while they're fighting.
It would be because in the comics,
end on a cliffhanger.
In the comics, Cyborg Superman comes back and he's like, "I'm Superman. I'm just different now," and he kind of he fights crime for a bit, but then he goes evil after a while.
So because he was originally made by Apocalypse,
something like that.
Yeah,
was it like that?
At least in the comics and in the cartoon, in the animated one, he was made by Apocalypse.
I don't remember if it was something like that, or it was an accident because he was an astronaut. He was Hank Henshaw.
Yep, and he blamed Superman, crashed into Apocalypse. Apocalypse
something like that.
Him.
Yeah, and sent him back.
Yep,
because that could be a good.
So at the
backstory.
end of the first movie, Cyborg Superman flies down.
He's like, I'm returned.
I've returned. Yeah. I'm the real Superman. Black screen, credits. There you go.
I think Henry Cavill would play Cyborg Superman to look like him.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be great.
You do that for a while. And I feel like they should he play it for a while, but then when he reveals he's evil, have a different actor, like the half of his face that's still human, like form into somebody else. To like what Hank Henshaw would look like. Because then they could have, Henry Cavill not play two people if they ever had more crossover.
Yeah. Or you could just give him some kind of morph power or something. I mean,
he kind of has that to an extent. I think he repairs himself.
He has self-repairing, yeah.
Our podcast guest there.
Yeah, and then you have those three for the second movie, right?
Yeah.
Eradicator shows up about halfway through. Set up the big fight at the end, where they're going to fight, but they don't fight until the third one.
Yeah, that would make sense. Just have more little scuffles or them finding Eradicator's lab or something.
Like, Superboy's protecting the president. Eradicator is killing bad guys in Gotham, and Batman doesn't like it.
But he would be able to fight him since he's Kryptonian too.
Yeah.
So he just
set up a little Easter egg for Batman.
Yeah.
By having him.
I feel like they should have Superboy have a little like a crisis. He's like, I'm a clone. What am I?
Yeah, you could do that.
Like maybe that's where
you have him find that out at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like
maybe
that's one.
Maybe that's where Steel comes in and it's like, just because you're a clone doesn't mean you're not worth something, and that's how they
not your person.
Maybe that's how they team up, and he becomes like his mentor.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, and he's like, I know Superman, I can help you, and with this, I can fight by your side. You'll never be alone. Right. You have a family.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that'd be cool.
Yep. And then in the third one, they have the big fight between the four of them, like halfway through, and then Superboy and Steel get captured by the Eradicator and flown back to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, because he was originally using Superman as a battery. Because that's how he came back.
Eradicator was a battery for Superman.
Was it that? I thought Superman was being used as a battery.
The solar radiation.
I knew it was something like that.
And the Eradicator's power set is all solar radiation based.
Is that in the new movie?
That was in the movie. Yeah.
Okay, I think
it might have been the other way in the comics. Though.
Yeah, I think in the comics he was using Superman as a battery to power some kind of weapon of some sort.
In the animated movie, the Eradicator is basically a nanny for Superman.
Okay.
And he finds Superman's dead. He goes and gets Superman before he's buried or whatever, and brings him back to the Fortress of Solitude. And he's a hologram in the Fortress of Solitude, but because he's whatever Superman needs, he becomes a protector.
Okay. I don't think that was how it was in the comics, but...
That's how
I mean, they
forever.
you know.
I think
whatever.
I read them once. I read through the Reign of Superman once. And
I'll have to double check on that, but they could do something like that, or just make him a bad guy in general.
yeah.
Just a rogue Kryptonian, or
Well, I think that way you get the reveal in the third movie that Superman's not really dead. Right?
yeah, they could bring him back some.
Superman comes back and beats Cyborg Superman.
Yeah,
Right? With the help of Steel and Superboy.
yeah, that would make sense.
Right? And at the end of that, they find out, this is made on another planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the big apocalypse reveal.
That would have been great.
Yeah. And then you start down
the apocalypse road. But make all the other Superman or superhero movies too, and they have like a similar.
Oh yeah,
They
like
tie into it at the very end of their trilogies
like a
or
Flash
whatever.
movie where Cyborg's made.
Yeah.
With a mother box embedded in him.
Mm-hmm.
Batman runs into Green Lantern. Do it like
Which Green Lantern though?
I don't know. I would think because you've seen the
That terrible Green Lantern movie.
no the animated War
Yeah, with Hal Jordan, and
with
Green
Hal
Lantern.
Jordan and Batman at the beginning.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Is you do
Something like that.
something like that, where you take those ideas and you make a new movie out of it, right?
Yeah, a lot of people want Jon Stewart Green Lantern though.
I do want Jon Stewart
That'd be
Green
really
Lantern.
cool.
I do really, really want Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Who would play
But
him?
I think that's
Who would play him?
after you introduce the Green Lanterns,
They're gonna have their own movie.
right? So you do Hal Jordan and Batman working together, right? And then at the end of that movie, or at the end of that series, Hal dies, passes on to John, and then you start a new series with John.
That could work.
I don't know.
If
We're
he
two
doesn't-
guys sitting in a basement, and we can do a better job than the executives at DC. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, who plays Jon Stewart?
Kevin Hart again. Oh man. Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
That's another. That could be Idris Elba,
That could be Idris Elba.
because he has that. It would have to be someone who has.
He does have the stoicism that John has.
Yeah, because John's a Marine.
Yep.
He's real clean cut. Has that that aura about him of law and order, of justice.
Yeah, and Idris Elba really has that
But I always
presence.
I hate saying that because I'd rather have somebody who isn't already an established actor. I really don't like people who have already been in superhero movies to go to other franchises like Marvel or DC using the same actors.
Idris Elba been in.
No, I know. I'm not saying that, but I mean just saying I don't like I would rather someone you don't know play him, because and then you could really see him as more as Green Lantern.
Yeah, but if somebody fits the role, somebody fits
I
the
know,
role.
I
I mean,
know.
that's like saying Robert Downey Jr. wasn't good as Iron Man.
No, but he was Iron Man
is
because he
Tony Stark.
Yeah,
I mean,
he literally in real life was basically Tony
Exactly.
Stark sans Iron Man suit.
so you have somebody who is Iron Man,
If it's a perfect fit like that, I'm fine with that.
and I think Idris Elba for
He would be. I think.
Jon
He would be a
Stewart
good
is
Jon
pretty
Stewart.
good fit.
But like Ben Affleck being Batman, people were like, "Is everybody just gonna make a hockey pads joke?"
Yeah,
About him being Batman.
Yeah, and is that what we're gonna do? Just whoever wants to be the next Superman is Superman. You know?
Yeah.
Like, is Nicolas Cage really gonna be the next Superman?
That would have been.
I know Nicolas Cage has wanted to play Superman forever, but
Cyborg Superman. He'd be crazy enough for it.
he would be crazy enough for it. You're right.
I
think he
hope.
worked too good as Spider-Man Noir, and
Yeah, he's got that about
he's
him.
got all of that there.
I feel like if they did a real life version of that, he could do it.
Oh yeah, I think he could pull that character off forever.
It's like or if they ever did like an Into the Spider-Verse, not necessarily bringing different dimensions, people from different dimensions, but like
Where we go to the different dimensions.
just like a brief, like Doctor Strange kind of thing, where you see a like somebody has like Apocalypse, because there's one Apocalypse, only one, because he's a god. He's in the god dimension.
Yeah, he's one of the new gods. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's only one where maybe there's a scene where you see Apocalypse looking through all the different dimensions on a screen, and you see Nicolas Cage Superman.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
You see Michael Keaton Batman. You see Christopher Reeve Superman. You see what's her name, Wonder Woman, the original Flash show.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did on the WB. They did something similar to that, where when they did, because it's their last season, they're doing Infinity Crisis.
Okay.
They actually had the I can't believe they did it. They brought the Flash from
the TV
Justice League movie onto the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
so that
cool.
is considered one of the timelines.
Okay.
From Flashpoint.
I know. I've heard. Speaking of Flashpoint, they're gonna have Michael Keaton be Batman in the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, playing Thomas Wayne.
No, Bruce. Just a different version. Like him, like from Tim Burton's universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
but they also are saying that could be a setup to a Batman Beyond movie.
That would be. I've been dying for a Batman Beyond movie.
Oh yeah, Michael Keaton as Old Man Batman. I don't know who would play Terry McGinnis, but
yeah, but he's already in the Marvel universe as a Vulture.
But he was Batman first, so I don't care.
He killed it.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Vulture. He nailed it.
He's got he's got that intimidation, that almost like that Clint Eastwood look about him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why I think Batman Beyond, he'd be a great
old Batman.
Old man Batman. Oh yeah, definitely.
I love that. There's one part in I don't know if you watched the Batman the animated or the Batman Beyond series.
Probably about 90% of it.
Okay, when he's the like young thugs are trying to beat him up, take his money, and he just whoops the shit out of all of them. But he's kind of like, that hurt to do that.
Yeah, haven't done that in a while.
I want to see Michael Keaton do that.
I just want to see a Batman Beyond universe.
That'd be great.
That would be amazing. I want to see Bane in a wheelchair. I want to see Joker's, Harley Quinn's grandkids. You know.
Yeah.
I want to see
the whole the Scarecrow, like new one, and all the Jokers and all that. The like a clan basically.
The Joker gang. I want to see Mark Hamill come back as the Joker.
That'd be great.
I want to see all of it.
Although if they do it from the Tim Burton universe, unless the Nicolas Cage.
Well, I don't know how that would work. How would that work with Flashpoint?
If it's just a different timeline, or if maybe he skips dimensions.
We do Flashpoint, does he just like see it on his way past?
I don't know.
Because we're talking, it's different timelines.
I know.
Not different universes.
Maybe he slips over into that.
Maybe
universe, or maybe he created that timeline by going back too far.
I don't know how you get off the Thomas Wayne as Batman timeline with Flashpoint.
No, I mean like he goes back instead of going back to save his mom. They could do it where he doesn't know how to use his power correctly, and he goes back too far, and he changes something, and that alters reality, and it becomes the Tim Burton universe somehow.
I think it's just going to be a flyby.
I hope not.
I don't think I see. I don't see how you do that.
I don't know,
because
but that's just rumors, though.
Is just so big of
it's great
touchstone.
I love I got the comic upstairs. I love it.
Universe.
But I hope if they don't go with the Michael Keaton thing, I hope they have Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne, because they set him up to be that in the Batman v Superman.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because he was Thomas Wayne in that. Going, Martha.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think if you Flashpoint, then that's no longer canon.
Yeah, but he would still be that. Because all that has to happen for that to get wiped away.
It's true. It's true.
Then when Flash comes back,
they could have been going that direction this whole time.
They could. I don't think they were.
They might. They might have been. They might have gone, hey, look, we're going to put out some really bad movies.
And then retcon it with Flash.
So that we can retcon it with Flashpoint. So that we can sell Flashpoint as
the starting point.
The starting point.
I think if they did that, they could get a different Batman and Superman. I feel like they would keep Gal Gadot
and that's what they could totally do all that.
And keep what's his name a cyborg.
That's what's great about retcons.
Yeah, I feel like
to get rid of what doesn't work and keep what does.
Yeah, I think the dude who played Cyborg was great.
Really?
I think it was a shit movie. Mm-hmm. But I feel like visually he looks like Cyborg.
I didn't like the way he looked visually.
No, I mean like the guy playing him. I think he fits the athletic kid.
Yeah.
Who's just gets his body ravaged and is rebuilt, and I think he did a good job of portraying that.
Yeah, I didn't like the Flash.
I don't like him either. I don't like the way they have Barry Allen.
He's too young.
He's too goofy.
Yep.
And awkward.
I mean, I get what they were going with, because at least to me, the Flash is the embodiment of basically joy.
Yeah.
This Flash in the DC universe. He's doesn't have bad days. He doesn't. Everybody he talks to, he makes their day a little bit better.
He's jokey.
He doesn't beat up his villains unless he has to.
Yeah, he does hold back.
He doesn't hurt anybody more than he has to, because he perpetually sees the good in people.
I think that's because his mom dying and all that, and he sees the bad, so he tries to make the good for everybody.
Yeah, exactly, like a comedian.
Yeah,
kind of. And
that's why he uses that to that is a defense mechanism. Yeah. As opposed to Batman.
That's what they were going for, but man, did they miss it.
Yeah, the whole him being awkward and not having friends. Mm-hmm. I don't see that. I think Flash would have Barry Allen would have a lot of friends.
They built a museum.
Yeah.
The city built a museum for him. Batman doesn't have a museum.
No. Everybody's terrified of him.
Exactly. Superman doesn't have a museum.
He's got that statue.
He's got statues, but not a museum.
He's not as personable.
Right. I think after every showdown, battle, whatever you want to call it, confrontation, I think the Flash goes through the crowd and shakes everybody's hand.
How you doing?
Thanks for coming. Are you okay? Is there anything I can get for you?
He could do it fast enough, so yeah. There's one thing I did like in Justice League though. When they're fighting Superman, when the Flash is running and Superman sees him.
Yeah, that was a good.
That was a cool moment.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. That was a good way of showing Superman's power level.
Mm-hmm. But I like that he wasn't as fast as the Flash. Like the Flash could dodge him. Yeah, but like they kind of a lot of times they make it out to be. A lot of people say Superman's faster than Flash, but he's not.
He's not. No, he's. I think in the famous Superman versus Flash race, Flash held back and tied with Superman.
Yeah, of course.
Not hurt Superman's feelings.
Yeah, there's also there was one comic where Flash he had something happen to him. I can't remember if it was the Tower of Babel or what it was. And it was Superman and Shazam flying after him. Mm-hmm. And Superman couldn't catch him, and and Superman was like, "Shazam, you're a god. You should be able to be faster than any mortal." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "Yeah, I can, but he phases whenever I try to touch him." Mm-hmm. And he had to like Shazam and hit him with lightning to stop him.
Well, yeah, that's because he's basically the embodiment of. Is it Icarus? No, not Icarus.
He's all of them.
Hermes.
Yeah, he's got Hermes speed.
No. Oh, I thought Flash did.
No, Shazam H is for Hermes, I believe. He has the speed.
No, that's Hercules.
Is it
Strength
Hercules?
of Hercules.
I can't remember the acronym. I know he has Solomon. The speed of Wisdom of Solomon.
Strength of Hercules.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Something.
He's got the speed of somebody.
Zeus, the lightning of Zeus.
But either way, he's a god, basically. Godlike powers.
You might be right.
The internet. I'm not 100% sure now that you bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to know.
I probably should just leave this open so I can Google stuff. I mean, even if he doesn't, he still has powers of a god. So it would make sense that he'd be of Hermes level speed.
Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. So it's the speed
Mercury
of
is
Mercury, right?
Yeah, Mercury is Hermes.
Yep. But in saying that, Flash is tied to the Speed Force, where
Yeah.
Mercury. That's where Mercury gets
Is
his
it?
speed from.
Is he a speedster in that regard?
As far as I know, in the DC universe, yeah.
That would make sense.
It would make sense that all of the superheroes, various gods, were tied to
Different forces of some
different
sort.
forces of some sort.
Makes sense. That's another thing I liked in the Justice League, where they had Zeus and that, and they had the Green Lantern cameo.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I liked the beginning of it.
I
The
thought-
opening
I thought, yeah, with
was
Batman,
pretty good.
I thought that was very Batman-esque.
Yep. I thought that was good. I mean, I don't know how they did Wonder Woman so good, but they went in such a different direction with Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's more the modern Wonder Woman now. Because they kind of built her for
To do
the
the World War I
instead of 2.
instead of, well, that's where Wonder Woman got her start, wasn't it? Was World War I?
I thought it was World War 2.
Maybe it was.
Because I think
Because she's after Superman, and Superman was before World War II.
No, he was in 48.
48.
I want to say he was
So yeah, so it's
pre-50.
right around the start of.
Because he was a wartime superhero, and so was everybody basically.
Well, I mean, Captain America,
Of course,
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so she
Superman,
was World War II.
Batman.
Yeah.
Because Batman started in what, 39?
Was it 40 or 39? Maybe it was.
Can we pause this for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sweet. While you're looking that up, I'm going to go grab a smoke. Because I am a horrible smoker.
I'll just edit this part out.
About anything that we said we were going to, have we?
Well, there's more podcasts to do.
That's fine.
Yeah, some people go off for pee breaks and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's the point of editing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can just cut all that out.
So what'd you come up with?
Wonder Woman was created in 41. Superman was 38. I was a decade off. I was thinking 40s. I don't know why I was thinking 40s. But yeah, that's around World War II when it first started flaring up. Not for us.
Started in 41.
Was it 41? I know. I think Hitler took power in the mid-30s. Was it?
38, 39.
Was it? I thought it was.
I'm a big history buff. So.
Or was he? Because I know he was in World War I.
December 17th, 1941 is a date that will live in infamy.
What's that?
That was FDR's speech after Pearl Harbor.
What's that?
December 17th, 1941.
What's that principle that everything comes back to Hitler somehow?
I have no
I'm
idea.
just saying. You came to it right now.
I like what Dan Carlin says about Hitler.
On hardcore history?
In general.
Okay.
He has a fantastic book idea for somebody. And that's, someday somebody's going to write this book. All the good things that Adolf Hitler caused.
That's true.
I mean, it's true. When you don't have NASA, you don't have the UN, you don't have the European Union.
That's true. It came about in the worst way, but we have it now.
Well, that's every Dan Carlin calls them arsonists, historical arsonists. So Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Attila the Hun. Dude, you really love me, don't you? I don't understand.
He loves getting on the table and
Why aren't you paying attention?
Seeing all the new stuff.
Don't get it.
Come on, Sonny. Yeah, there you go.
And boom. Yeah, I do that with my dog, and I'm abusive.
Ah, no. Cats lying on their feet. And it's only a 2-foot drop.
I know.
No, but yeah. They're still in that.
I mean, somebody's going to write that book someday.
Eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Superman was actually almost didn't happen. Because he was in the anthology, the Action Comics, and somebody was just like, yeah, put him on.
Yeah.
Random.
Yep. I like Wonder Woman's story better.
Yeah.
The
whole
guy
Amazonian
created
stuff.
her.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
His,
BDSM and all that.
BDSM, and his wife and his girlfriend lived together with him, and
yeah.
you read the book?
No, I haven't, but I know the story. I know a lot of it anyway.
I got it for my ex, and I read it because she goes, "This thing reads like 50 Shades of Grey." I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, I believe it.
And man,
you look at
that's why Wonder Woman's
the ropes and all that.
Well,
when she's tied up, she's powerless.
Only when she's tied up by a man.
Yep.
I mean, that was her.
That was her thing.
Thing forever. I mean, up until I think the 80s, that was her weakness.
Yeah. And you look back, if you never knew about that, you're like, this is weird. Then then you hear about that, and you're like, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it makes way too much sense, especially in the early comics.
Yeah,
always tied to chairs and tied to her chunky friend there.
Yeah,
God, I can't believe they put her in the movie.
It kind of makes sense. Well, she's not going to be in any more movies, so.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe that they did.
Yeah, it's a nice Easter egg.
Throwaway. I mean, they got rid of her by the 50s, by the late 50s, early 60s.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
The sidekick thing was gone.
That's true. But she's only a minor character, so I think it's a cool Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Superman 38. It's crazy because when I was telling my grandparents about going to like Comic-Con and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa's like, "Oh, I had the first Superman."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wish you would have kept that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what a lot of the comics that we're talking about now came out because of that.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, mid-90s,
big comic book boom.
The big comic book boom was because
comics were so expensive. Worth something.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're not.
My neighbor, growing up, my neighbor had probably 20 of the
big boxes.
The issue boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably had 20 or 30 of them.
Just full of old.
Just full of Silver Age, Gold Age comics. I mean, he had a lot of Jack Kirby's first stuff. He had, I think he had first appearance of Spider-Man. I mean, just crazy stuff.
I mean, worth some
then
good
they
money.
moved, so I didn't get a chance to swipe any.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Flash was 1940. Wonder Woman's 41.
mm-hmm.
And original Shazam Captain Marvel was 40.
Back. When was Batman?
Batman was... I got pulled all these up.
Mm-hmm.
39.
39?
March.
Man.
So yeah, they all came out around the same time.
No wonder DC has so many crises.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Flash, Jay Garrick ran... where's it at?
Up
I just
until
saw
the
it.
80s, wasn't it?
I just had it. Where's it at? 40 to 51. 61 to 2011 must have been when Barry Allen came about.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it's 2017. I don't know if they have a new Flash or if it's Wally West playing Flash now or who it is.
I don't know who the Flash is now.
Currently in comics. Bart Allen. Because a ton of people have been Flash.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because it's, like you said, it's like a mantle.
Yeah, and I mean it's just the Speed Force, and if you access it, you can use that power. Because he's
Barry Allen.
He's still the Flash in the main comics?
2008 to present.
Okay.
Wally West was 86 to 2011.
Mm-hmm. Because I know they did some comic where they brought Wally West back, but they couldn't save Jay Garrick somehow. It was something.
Jay Garrick still makes, because he's the one with the metal hat.
Yeah.
And he still makes appearances now and then.
Because he did that.
He was part of the JSA.
Yeah. Just
Society of America.
Well, they did that with when they brought Barry Allen. They made Earth 2 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they revealed that when him and Jay Garrick met, and they're like, "Oh, these are different universes."
Have you read Doomsday Clock yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to read it.
I was a little bit late to it, and then I could never find issue 1. Mm-hmm. And that's about when I stopped buying comics, because I realized I was spending hundreds of dollars a month.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I gotta stop
Just to
doing
keep
this.
up. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, got to get like the Comixology app or DC Unlimited or something.
Yeah, I need to get.
I like the Comixology.
Yeah, you were showing me
got
that the other day.
Marvel Unlimited, DC Unlimited, but the Comixology has been around longer than either of them, and they are like a conglomerate of everything. They have all the independent comics. They have almost all the Marvel, all the DC, Image, all the big names under one roof.
Okay.
And a lot of the lesser known comics also. They do a lot of independent stuff.
What was that comic?
There's one that's real popular right now called Saga, and it kind of flips the whole fantasy trope on its head. The superhero fantasy trope kind of flips it around.
Like how?
Like the demons are actually good.
Oh, okay.
Like an angel and a demon actually like get married and have a baby. And I don't know much about it. I've heard, but it looks, from what I've heard, it's a really good series.
Okay, I'm trying to find this one, Milestone Media. That was a comic. That was one of the an independent comic that was, I think DC put their books out for them. They distributed them or something like that. But they were, and that's where they got Icon. And Icon's one of the superheroes that stayed around from that era. He was in the Justice League Unlimited for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if let's pull a picture of him. Come on, it's that one. Remember if you saw him? Remember seeing him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's basically like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Has like equal strength and all that. Because Superman remarked, I think he was in some comic where he remarked like, yeah, if you need someone to kick my ass, bring him.
Did you hear how Angela got into, or is going to be in the Marvel universe, the cinema MCU?
Angela who?
So, you know Spawn,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
when they were all, what was the name? Was it Image?
Yeah, Image Comics.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Image Comics.
So when Image first started up, all the creators owned all of their work.
Mm-hmm.
And Neil Gaiman.
Where's Sonny? Come on, buddy.
And Neil Gaiman wrote a couple of issues for Spawn because Todd was more into toys at that time, right? And he created a character, Angela. Well, he owned her because he created her, right? So then he goes back to Marvel and slides her into Thor. And she ends up in Thor's universe because he owns her.
Okay.
So now supposedly she's going to be in the next Thor movie.
Yeah, I don't know because it has a weird.
She's kind of a bad guy, kind of a good guy.
Okay.
But yeah, because Neil Gaiman owns her,
He can use her.
he's back with Marvel. He can use her, and that's how. And supposedly, he is trading her back to Todd for the rights to Miracle Man.
Okay.
So that he can finish his run on Miracle Man.
Okay.
Because he wrote, because Alan Moore took Miracle Man. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Miracle Man was originally Shazam. Had a copyright issue in England. They changed it from Miracle Man or from Marvel Man to Miracle Man. Because Shazam used to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah. And then that patent ran out. Then
Copyright ran out, yep.
That was a whole
thing. So they
thing.
had to change it. Well, in Britain, he became Miracle Man.
Okay.
Instead of Shazam. And kind of went into obscurity for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Moore picked it up. It's the first comic Alan Moore worked on. And it's where Alan Moore's bringing realism into comics started. So he wrote that up until, I want to say up until Watchmen. But he wrote it for quite a few years.
So it was just a different version of Shazam then?
Same power set.
Just called Miracle Man.
Just called Miracle Man. But the thing that Gaiman did that Moore did was Billy Batson has grown up.
Oh, and he's an adult.
He's an adult. And he's depressed and alcoholic, married, has kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that he feels like he can remember, but he can't quite remember.
Okay.
And that's his magic word.
Oh, okay.
That transforms it. So he's been living for like 20 years.
Just as a regular ass person?
Just a regular person.
Okay.
Right? And then he remembers it one day. And he's telling his wife about this the whole time. And his wife's telling him he's crazy and da-da-da-da, because he forgot the word before he met her.
Mm-hmm.
And he remembers it one day, and it all comes flooding back, and he remembers that he's a superhero and everything.
Like, come out to the yard.
It was really interesting. And then Gaiman took over for once Marvel bought the rights to it.
Okay.
Because Marvel bought the rights, I want to say, in the 80s. Because it was it was becoming so popular.
Yeah.
In Britain. Oh, there goes your poster.
Yeah. I kind of figured that would happen.
Not Akira, no.
That's such a good movie. You ever watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's like the
multiple
quintessential anime.
Do you know why?
Because it's so good.
Do you know why it's so good?
It was a manga before that, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it's not really that good of a movie.
No?
Like, compared to the manga, the manga's way better than the movie.
It's probably because the movie's
so
more
much
condensed,
longer.
right?
Yeah. So you know how the movie has a really good start and kind of a slow middle?
Yeah.
And then a really good finish?
Yeah.
So the beginning and the end are basically the beginning and the end of the manga. Mm-hmm. The middle part, they kind of tried to condense down all the political and civil unrest in the manga.
That makes sense.
And a lot of characters that had huge roles in the manga are like cameos.
Okay.
In the movie. But the movie became so popular because of the way they draw it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the way that they normally draw anime and most animation is instead of doing one drawing per frame, it's one drawing for every 2 or 3 frames. And in Akira, that was the first one that they drew one drawing for every frame. That's why it's so detailed. That's why it flows so smooth.
That makes sense.
Like the tail lights at the beginning, how those...
Yeah, they have that.
You get the
afterglow.
tracers, the afterglow. It's because of the way they drew it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's why it was so expensive.
I'm sure it made its money back, but at least by now.
By now it has, yeah, but it didn't. It didn't make its money back for years and years, and that's why, like, you get Akira, and then you don't really get any good anime.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab him real quick. Oh, what he's getting into.
Just a sewing kit.
Yeah. No, it's not. I don't think it's sewing kit.
Makeup bag, sorry.
Yeah. This happens every podcast. He gets into something.
Someday you'll shut the door.
We used to lock him upstairs, but after a while, I'm like,
Then they started meowing.
he does. He's a talker. He meows a lot.
So then you didn't get any good anime up until the really violent stuff.
Yeah, I like Robotech. I thought that
Ninja
was really
Scroll. Well, Robotech is before Akira.
That was in the 80s, right?
Robotech was
that-
originally a show.
Yeah.
Well, Akira was like 87.
Was it?
86, 87.
Okay, maybe that was
Maybe
before that.
89. And Robotech, I want to say, is 82, 83.
Okay, it's hard to keep all the dates.
Because Robotech was a precursor to, like, the Transformers craze.
Okay.
And, Gundam and Robotech kind of came out at the same time.
Yeah.
And which Robotech are you talking about, actually?
The 80s one. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
but which one? The American or the Japanese? Because they're two different shows.
I don't remember. I just remember watching it as a kid.
A
Where
lot
they
of
had
the
the-
anime that you and I grew up on,
Yeah.
they did
Americanized.
basically what they did with Power Rangers. Where they
Yeah.
would find,
It was Super Sentai and then...
well, they would find something that was semi-popular in America, in Japan, that had been around for a while.
Yeah.
And then they cut a whole bunch of it out.
That makes sense.
So, like Voltron in Japan is
Probably
a
vastly
longer
different.
series, a lot more mature, a lot more. He's got something that he loves.
He's getting into that. I'm just gonna take him upstairs. Let's cut all this out.
That's fine. Yeah, all this great anime talk. Yeah.
He's never usually that bad.
He found something fun. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Something crinkly and fun.
Oh, there's something I want to tell you though. We're talking about the Akira thing, the Batman the Animated Series, the way it looks, the way it does, it's because they drew it on black paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
They gave it that
There was a lot of
more depth to it.
different techniques that were brought with the Batman animated series also. And the artists that drew a lot of the Batman, especially the cityscapes, were actual architects and actual
makes sense.
architectural designers. So that's why the animated series looks so good.
Yeah, I know they took a lot from the Tim Burton movie too, because that's the reason why Penguin looks the way he does. It's because Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a conglomerate
Yeah.
of
And
good ideas.
We wouldn't have Harley Quinn, and we wouldn't have modern day Mr. Freeze without animated series.
Yeah, the Mr. Freeze in the animated universe is the Mr. Freeze now.
Yeah, because he had such a great backstory because of that.
Oh, he did, too.
He wasn't just like a henchman.
And he was only in like 2 episodes of the animated show.
And he had his own movie.
He did after the
Sub-Zero, yeah.
Yep. And that was it.
But
and
he's so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's so memorable.
That's why we have I think that's a big reason on why we have so many villains with tragic backstories now.
Mm-hmm.
Is because of Harley and because of Mr. Freeze and how well the Batman animated series did.
Mm-hmm. You
wouldn't have 90s X-Men without it.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't have Superman. You wouldn't have Justice League.
Yeah,
Superman.
all that without Batman.
Without that animated series doing as good as it did. It was even moved to a different time slot because it was doing so well with an older audience.
Makes sense, yeah.
I don't think you have Adult Swim without Batman the animated series.
Maybe not.
Because cartoons before that were so much a kid's thing.
Yeah.
And only Saturday mornings and only for a couple of hours after school. And then the animated series appealed to so many adults.
That makes sense.
It kind of opened up the door to adult animation.
Yeah. There's
along with good anime and
yeah, of course,
that kind of stuff.
They'd have a little extra because anime's been more adult longer.
Yeah,
for sure.
A lot of the reason is because of the restrictions on pornography in Japan.
Makes sense.
Because you can't show.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you can't show any genitalia. You can't show da-da-da-da-da in Japan.
Yeah.
But if it's animated, you can.
Yeah.
Because it's not real.
We'll skirt around the rules there.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And that's why it became...
It's popular.
In like the late 60s, early 70s as popular as it did. And that's what you and I are missing out of a lot of the anime that we grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Is the adult context to it. Because in America, it's still for kids at that point. And there's a lot more... like in Voltron, like the princess and one of the guys end up having sex in Voltron in the Japan series.
Yeah. There's been a few I know that like some stuff doesn't make sense continuity wise. You have to cut like whole episodes out.
Oh yeah.
And it messes with it.
Sometimes they would have to cut 2 or 3 out.
Yeah. And you're like,
and they'd try to super glue it back together.
yeah.
Or the animation discrepancies where you could tell
something's changed.
This isn't animated the same way. This isn't the same person that drew this scene as the one that drew the scene before and after.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But
if you ever get a chance, watch some of the old stuff. You'll be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
At how much different. Robotech isn't even called Robotech in Japan.
I remember watching it as a kid, and I thought the robot that it would be a jet, then a half jet, the Guardian mode, and then the full like Gundam-ish. Yeah. And I just that's so awesome.
That Jetfire in Transformers, in the Transformers series, the white and red jet in the first season.
Okay.
That was from
Robotech?
Robotech.
Okay, that makes sense.
It was a Robotech jet.
I haven't watched a whole lot of Transformers. I never really got into it.
Oh, man. I can't help it. I love the Transformers cartoon series. I love the movie. I love the series. Something about the robots.
I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Which is like the next progression.
I think Beast Wars is a really good comparison between the two of them. Because you have a lot of junk in between and after. But Beast Wars really was like a true...
Successor
to
even took place on Earth.
It even took place on Earth, but not just that, but a lot of the characters and the way that they were, like Optimus Primal was very much a successor to Optimus Prime.
I think he was supposed to be like physically a successor to him, like the next edition of him, wasn't he?
Well, this is where, if you want to get into Transformers continuity,
I don't know.
Transformers continuity is very, very, very screwed up.
That makes sense.
Because Hasbro has never been real big on characters staying the same. Like they will take like a name like Hotshot and apply it to a fire ant because they need to keep the copyright. or the licensing. So they'll apply the names to different characters, completely different characters.
Okay.
Just to keep the licensing and toy stuff and da-da-da. So there's like 4 different origin stories to Transformers.
Yeah.
In the cartoon, they were built by Quintessons, some robots. In one part of the cartoon, in the original series. In another part of the series, they were made by Cybertron in the original series. So there's 2 different origin stories in the original series.
Okay. Because I always thought Optimus Primal was just like a later like a different, not necessarily Optimus himself, but just like that model, just like the next, like how like a model changeover, like with cars, like the C1 Corvette, the C2 Corvette.
I'm gonna blow your mind a little bit.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Beast Wars takes place in the past.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So Optimus Prime.
Well, kind of.
They were sent back in time because Megatron sent himself basically back in time. So the Cybertronians sent back people. In the Beast Wars, the Beast Transformers aren't even considered Transformers because they're organics.
Well, they're kind of organic. I mean, they just take on organic
with organics. So they are in the Transformers universe, at least. They are a completely different species.
Okay.
From the Cybertronians. So the Cybertronians were made by Primus. The organic Transformers were made by like Animus or something like that.
Okay. Well, in Beast Wars, they weren't originally like that. They only took on the animal forms.
Because of when they were.
Yeah.
Right.
But they weren't really organic.
This is all retcon to try to fix the timelines.
Okay. Because they weren't really organic because they were organic in the Beast Machines. They came after that.
That's the kind of thing it's trying to fix.
Okay.
Is because one of the questions is why couldn't the regular Transformers do that if the Beast Wars Transformers could? Right?
It would just make sense because that's what was around them.
That's why they did it in the show.
Yeah.
Right? But in the overall continuity, why couldn't Optimus Prime have become a human? Right?
Size?
Why couldn't... Well, look at Soundwave.
Yeah, I guess so. He's a cassette tape.
They have mass shifting
it's true.
Capabilities.
I don't know, man.
Right?
Couldn't sell toys.
This is why you get...
Couldn't sell toys, that's why. I feel like that's really the reason.
That's really the reason,
is
to sell toys. But in the Transformers
universe,
fan clubs,
and
such, they need fan base. They need
logic applied
to everything.
Logic applied to fiction.
Yeah. Instead of just rolling with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance, read the Transformers wiki. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Some of the stuff.
I can't imagine like the movies helped with that either. They probably added more layers of complexity.
I think that they should have went the way that comic books went, where it's just different universes. Where Beast Wars is just a different universe than Transformers.
Okay.
Where
you could still have Beast Wars because it was a time shift. And it's in the past and present. I mean, past and the future.
When you start getting to present day, right, where all these things exist together,
that's true, I guess. Yeah,
it starts to get a little slippery.
That's true. Although I don't know what year Beast Wars was set in.
Like the show or in real life?
Show. So the show and the real life was in the 90s.
Show, it was set in, for some weird reason, where dinosaurs and gorillas exist.
No, I mean like when they were no, dinosaurs didn't exist then. They just scanned the bones. That's how they got their beast forms.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, like
I think the Velociraptor actually scanned a Velociraptor, but I'm not sure.
I could have swore it was just they were scanning the bones and the fossils.
That might have been it. I don't know. I don't know for sure on that.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Hey, I give it to you.
I'm like 57% sure. I don't know. I have to watch that again.
It's a crazy continuity.
I loved it, though.
It still holds up.
It does. It's a little weird with the animation.
Mm-hmm. I think the animation holds up a lot better than a lot of other CGI stuff at the time.
Yeah.
That's true. Even later. I mean...
Yeah, some stuff.
The Transmetal Beast Wars stuff doesn't hold up at all, but the original series still does.
Okay.
It still looks...
I haven't watched it forever.
Like it still looks good for what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a lot we've covered so far.
I'm surprised you don't have any of the Beast Masterpiece yet.
What do you mean?
So you know that they do Masterpiece Transformers.
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. Masterpiece Transformers are high-end animation, almost perfect. Like they almost completely match the animation style. And they're just Transformers. I mean, they're the toys, but they're high-end. And
okay.
They look like they did in the shows.
That's cool.
And movies and stuff. Well, they just started doing a line of Beast Wars.
Oh,
so they did
I'll have to look up some of
Megatron. They did the Velociraptor. They did
Dinobot.
Yep. They did. They haven't done Rat Trap yet. They did Optimus Primal, Arachnid, and they look amazing.
Okay, it'd be cool to have a Black Arachnia or a Cheetor.
You ever heard of Jobby the Hong? Mm-mm. He does toy reviews on YouTube. Mm-hmm. His Beast Wars toy reviews are amazing because he's like you. He's a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
Like all he wanted since he started collecting and doing reviews was a Dinobot masterpiece.
Oh, okay.
And he finally got one, and that review's like 31 minutes long. All of his other reviews are like 7 minutes, and that one's...
If you love it, you're gonna pour more into it for sure.
And it's fun because he's like a Filthy Frank type guy. So he's got a bunch of characters. There's storylines going on in the background.
Jeez.
There's inside jokes. I mean...
All right.
But yeah, if you like the Beast Wars, he does an excellent...
They're probably expensive as all hell, though.
Well, what's your definition of expensive for it?
I feel like they're probably a couple $100, if not more, in the 1,000.
So the latest Optimus Prime is $450, $500, somewhere in there.
Well, how big are they though? Are they just normal toy size?
They are. That's one of the great things about it is that they're all in scale. So if you have
he's
Optimus
like 8 foot
Prime, no, if you have Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, they are the size they should be in relation to each other.
Okay.
So I think MP10 is 12 inches tall.
Okay.
8 to 12 inches tall. But the transformations on them, it takes half an hour to transform some of them.
I believe it. I'd rather have just more of like the Predator over there, just a statue or something. Yeah.
They do statues too. But for somebody like me, the fact that it transforms, that's the
cool as
selling
shit.
point
Yeah.
to me. If it doesn't transform, I don't care about it. At least Transformers wise.
Yeah. I feel like I'd like something just to have here, hang on the wall or whatever, have in the background.
I almost brought you the cassettes instead of
the Transformers
Futurama
concepts.
Yeah, have you ever seen the cassettes?
Yeah,
Like,
my cousin Dave had nearly every, all the Transformers.
Really?
Yeah, he was a big fan. He had tons of them, and I loved playing with them.
Well, give him my number.
Yeah. He might still have them.
I don't know. They're worth so much money now.
No, he loves that stuff though. I don't think he'd part with it. It's from his childhood.
Yeah.
So he had all the Star Wars. I was telling you that he had all the Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
His mom gave him away. He was pissed. He had that whole he had the Death Star and everything.
Oh yeah, my mom did that stuff. I still to this day go, oh my gosh. When I look at how much it costs to rebuy it, I'm like, oh.
Rebuying my childhood one piece at a time.
Yeah. Oh, sweet, Metroplex. Oh, $3,000. Awesome.
He had a
original Optimus Prime. It's only $1,700.
Little tear goes by as you hit buy now.
No, I don't make a big deal out of owning the originals.
No.
I own a couple of original pieces, but it's more the modern representation of it. Like, at least with Transformers, they just came out with the Earthrise series because they have the new series coming out on Netflix.
Okay.
And for $50, the Optimus Prime they put out for the Earthrise is basically an affordable masterpiece. I mean, this is the best, at least to me, it's the best figure of Optimus Prime I've ever seen come out of a toy section at Walmart or Toys R Us, you know?
Yeah, they know people will buy it.
This is the second time they've done it, because they did one for War for Cybertron, which was the line before it, and then they released almost the exact same figure.
I think Marvel's done a lot of stuff like that too.
Yeah, a lot of their
legacy things or something. I think they're called, or something like
Legends.
that. Legends, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of their Legends are just retooled, reused, but that's how you do toys.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's easier and more affordable. Use the old mold.
Well, then also, I mean, you're not going to make a new mold every time you need a torso. You know? Yeah.
So there's a guy on YouTube I was watching where he'd take those and he would repurpose them, and he would make like he'd take a Spider-Man and make it into a symbiote Spider-Man or something, or combine certain things to make different characters that he wanted and custom make them.
Yeah, that stuff's always cool.
Oh, yeah.
I can't bring myself to do it with my stuff, though.
No. It would have to be something you'd buy now, not something original.
Oh, I mean, even the stuff I buy now, it's like, oh. I've thought about it with a couple of pieces where it's like, I bought a Spider-Man Lego set. And it's like, boy, it'd be cool if this was this Spider-Man instead of that Spider-Man. How hard would it be to change
Not
those?
very.
And it's not, but it's just, yeah, but what if someday?
What if it's worth something? You never know.
Yeah. What if this set's the weird one that has the defect that's worth $5,000 in 10 years?
It could be. You never know.
Yep, that's the problem. I mean, I have a couple of pieces that are that way, so that makes it harder.
Yeah. I feel like, speaking of collectibles, like the Funko Pops, I feel like those are the new Beanie Babies.
They are, yeah. Yeah, I think
That's mine. That's Fred.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
I think he's got bad allergies, so he Fred the cat there. He sneezes a lot lately.
I thought your wife had walked up behind us.
No.
Like, how did she get in here?
There's a little teleporter over there. Full on. Batman's behind you.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that to their pieces. I don't know. But I don't buy duplicates either.
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, those guys that'll go in.
Well, the guy I watched was doing it made to order stuff for like people.
Oh, yeah, doing that kind. Yeah, my daughter has started doing that with Furbies.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, she started modifying and selling. She has a whole Instagram page set up for her Furbies.
Jeez, wow.
Yeah, she just sold one for $70.
All right.
I mean,
you want me to plug that Instagram in the description?
No, that's fine. She has enough business. I have enough Furby painting going on at my house.
All right. Well, I only have like 34 subscribers right now anyway, so I wouldn't hit a whole lot of people.
Hey, that's better than nothing.
That's true.
I mean, Joe Rogan only had, probably 100 for his first 1,000 or first 150, 200 episodes?
Maybe. I don't know, because he wasn't on YouTube at first.
Yeah, he was.
At the beginning, he wasn't. He was streaming on some other thing.
You can watch.
No, it's on there. But when he first started, he wasn't on YouTube originally.
No, he was just on iTunes.
No, he was on some other streaming site. I can't remember what it was called, but it had a chat.
Has it been around that long?
Yeah, 10 years. Over 10 years now.
Yeah, but YouTube's been around that long.
But he wasn't doing it on YouTube, though. He was doing it on something else that was already established that's not around anymore. Can't think of what it was called, though.
Is anything ever going to knock off any of the major sites now?
I think so.
You think so?
I think something will get...
You think something...
I feel like Twitter is going to die off eventually.
Yeah, I think you're right about Twitter. But I mean, like, Facebook. Is there anything that comes along and is able to innovate better than Facebook does? Or Google?
I don't know.
Is there a search engine that ever knocks Google off?
Maybe. Or maybe, I think...
I mean, Google is now a verb. I'll Google.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Google would have to die for that to happen. I think some
so?
bad mistakes would have to happen. Because why create your own when you can just say, let's partner up. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use what I have instead of...
do.
Yeah.
A lot of what they do is just buy everything when it's small and cheap.
Yeah. Or I mean, even bigger companies wouldn't start their own Google because they can say, I'm gonna partner with Google. Yeah. I'm gonna use what instead of putting R&D into that, I can put more on my product.
Yep.
And make it better.
I don't know. Maybe privacy becomes an issue later on.
I don't. Maybe, but people give that away so easily.
They do right now, but I know, like my kids, they use DuckDuckGo for searching instead of Google, because DuckDuckGo doesn't hang on to any data.
Yeah.
They don't ever sell your data.
Will they talk about that on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe where I heard that.
Yeah, I heard one of the Lee Camp podcasts, I think.
I can't remember.
The early ones.
He was talking about that recently, I think.
Maybe.
But I mean, he repeats a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, he does definitely have.
But that's his world.
Yeah.
Just like here, like even on this podcast, I bring up Batman a lot.
Yeah.
But that's in the nerd world, and he's a big icon. It's hard not to reference.
I don't know
him.
how you talk about comics without talking about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Spider-Man,
Captain America,
any
of them.
Yeah,
it's so funny that about Marvel, like, just this whole movie thing is revived them. They were so close to being gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's crazy. Because
they
had to
did
sell
something that nobody else had done, that everybody had always wanted.
Made a good comic book movie?
Well, not just a good comic book movie, but I know personally it was always, why do we only get 3 Batmans? Mm-hmm. Why do we only get 2 Supermans? Right? Why do we only get 3? Like, I think Sam Raimi's Spider-Man really kicked that off.
Yeah.
Where you had the interlocked universe, where you had cameos and little Easter eggs from other comics and other, like you would see in the books.
Yeah.
Right?
It did that for sure. But I mean, they were going to do more Batmans, but Michael Keaton read the script for, was it Batman and Robin that came?
Yeah.
Yeah, he read that and he's like,
it was Joel Schumacher did the last 2.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not doing that.
But Joel Schumacher, I mean, I've seen some really good defenses of the Joe Schumacher.
It's campy. It's that.
That's the Batman he grew up with.
Yeah, because Adam West Batman saved Batman because that was what revived it, and it wasn't going to go under.
Yeah, and I mean that's a Batman that he grew up with. That was the nostalgia trip at the time.
It really was, yeah.
And he was making movies for his grandkids.
Yeah,
for his kids.
I understand it. I
mean, I get it.
I when I was a kid, I liked the movies.
They're decent movies.
They're bad. They're fun.
Yeah,
they're fun little romp.
They are fun, and they definitely. I mean, they have a lot of the continuity stuff going on. They have a lot of the Easter egg stuff going on.
They do.
I mean, really, DC could have taken that and built their cinematic universe before Marvel, and they missed that opportunity.
And they're kicking themselves for it.
Made so much fun of the last one.
Yep.
Oh, Batman Forever. That was the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, because that had Batgirl in it.
Yeah. Yep.
They're just like Alfred's niece. Close enough. Good enough.
Yep.
Whatever. Not even a redhead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know, because you don't know what Batgirl he was going for. You know
I think they just went the easy way with that. I feel like they did.
How was that the easy way?
Because they would have to bring in Commissioner Gordon and set up.
Well, Commissioner Gordon was already,
I guess,
unquote, existed.
But they would have to bring him in. If they'd had him in a different movie and showed his daughter or something, I think there would have had been more
Wasn't
groundwork.
he in the first two?
I don't...
I want to say he at least made an appearance in the first one. He would have had to.
I think he was
Gordon
he was in
such a icon of the series.
He was in the Michael Keaton ones, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I know those are kind of continuations of it, but they're not, so it wouldn't make sense.
I don't know. I think they could have done something.
I mean, Harvey Dent was Billy D.
That's true.
He's not.
That's very true.
He didn't. I don't know if he metamorphosed into.
God, I can't believe we didn't get a Billy D.
That'd been great
in Dark Knight Rises or any of the Christopher Nolan.
I wish it would just been Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah. Are you not a fan of the Nolans?
No.
Really?
Not really. No. I liked Batman Begins. I don't like that version of the Joker. I don't think he's Joker.
You have got to be the only person I know of that doesn't like that version of the Joker.
To me, he's more like Anarchy, the character. He's not Joker to me.
He is, and I see that argument. But man,
for what it is,
he seems like it seems like they were really going for a Frank Miller type Joker in that series.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think they were going with a Iraq War veteran coming back.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
I have heard, and that is a really good backstory for
Yeah.
if that is the case.
I feel like, because that's what I've heard. I'm like, I kind of went over it. I'm like, this makes real good sense.
The Dark Knight trilogy is Christopher Nolan's whole take on Bush's politics.
Yeah.
I really want to get into it.
Yeah, it is. And I don't like
talking. I mean, that is the quintessential Joker, I think.
I just don't like. I say to people, like, I think he was a great villain. I think he was good for what he was, but I don't think he was a good Joker.
What was he missing?
He just doesn't.
How is he not the Joker?
Because he is that.
Because that's what the Joker is now, is the mirror image of
a Batman. Yeah, for like I said,
and that's what he is in that movie.
For that movie, yeah. But just to me, as an overall, when I look at Joker as a whole, he doesn't fit that well. And how do I explain it? Because he wasn't. He doesn't seem deliberate in a lot of things. He seems. I mean, I don't know how to explain this.
I don't know. I mean, I get where that. It seems like he's just.
He doesn't.
It seems like it's unplanned what he's doing.
I know, but it's supposed to be part of the main plan.
The juice of it.
Yeah,
that it really is that well planned.
I'm trying to think of a way to explain this that isn't just like it's hard to put it into words.
No, I understand.
He seems like he's doing it for a greater purpose to teach people a lesson. But that's not really what Joker did. I don't think.
So think Killing Joker, right? What is the point? What is Joker's point in that?
That was kind of just to torture Batman.
No.
It seemed like it was because the
whole reason Joker does everything in that in the Killing Joke.
But he wants to push Batman over the edge too.
Prove to Batman that anybody can have one bad day.
Yeah.
And get pushed over the edge, because that's what he tries to do to Commissioner Gordon. Is push Commissioner Gordon off the edge.
That's true.
So to take that and apply it to Harvey Dent in Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight, sorry.
Yeah, they all have the same titles basically.
Basically, yeah.
I guess he kind of did that to him.
He did that to Harvey Dent, and I think that's a great origin story for why Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face.
Kind of, yeah, because he's supposed to hate Batman for that.
Yeah, because he blames Batman.
Yeah, he does.
For Rachel dying.
Yeah,
and that makes a lot of sense.
But he blames he's blamed him for ruining his life and his love and scarring him, and that's what causes that. But it's a little different in the movie, which I get. You have to change things.
I mean, it sticks pretty close to that because he blames Batman for Rachel dying, for his scars,
Mm-hmm.
Because Batman has basically set out this "I can save everybody" mantra, or makes that type of appeal to the city.
Yeah, for sure.
And he fails him.
I don't know. I just don't think the Joker would care enough to do that.
I don't know.
He wouldn't be that masterful in this big grand scheme to change things in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's always been the antithesis to Batman, but not that deliberate in trying to change the world. Okay. Where that Joker wanted to make a statement and change things, which he did in that movie.
Right.
And then the third movie, you see that everything's changed, and then Bane kind of reverses that.
Right.
But that's not really how I see Joker as.
Maybe Bane is kind of the Joker that you're talking of?
No, that Bane's terrible.
No. I'm saying with the way that it's not as deliberate. It's not. It's just cause chaos.
Yeah, but his was deliberate because he was just a puppet.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
He was just being used.
Yeah. I think he was in on the planning. I think that he was in the Assassins and did help out.
I mean, probably,
part of the
but still,
inner circle, and
I hate that
he was her protector,
and I hate that Bane so much.
Okay.
Because he's not South American. Mm-hmm. He should have been. He's not, using venom to juice himself up. Mm-hmm. And Bane's high IQ. Mm-hmm. He's not a puppet. He runs the show. Mm-hmm. In the comics, he has his own country that he runs.
Yeah.
To see him as like this weird Tom Hardy, like doing that, I don't like it.
That was to try to make it so that you couldn't really tell where he was from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, you see Tom Hardy; it's not hard to figure out.
Yeah, but I used to think that way about it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how you do Bane in the real world.
Roids,
right?
Just have him a roided up dude who's very smart.
He was the whole time.
But I mean, like,
and he was very intelligent.
It could be like adrenaline shots.
So you think that we should actually be seeing him shoot up?
Yeah, or maybe that's a problem.
I don't know if you can put that in a movie. I don't know if you can put that in a PG-13 movie.
Make it rated R.
Because that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Is that you also have to have it be PG-13.
Or maybe he takes pills for that.
Drug use in
I guess
PG-13,
so, yeah.
I mean, you have a hard enough time in an R-rated movie.
That's true. Just make it rated R. Just yeah.
I agree.
Buck the ratings.
I think there should be a rated R Batman.
Buck it up. Yeah.
I mean, and hopefully with the continued success of Deadpool and the continued success of some of Marvel's more R-rated movies.
Yeah.
That'll come to fruition.
I'm sure it will. I would just like to. I don't know. I feel like Batman could be better if they went more with Batman the Animated. Batman, if they got the writers from that,
kind of kept more with a detective noir type feel instead of a action hero movie type feel.
Yeah, I mean you could have both, but I mean the one of the things I cite for when people ask me why I love Batman is from the animated from Justice League with Ace when they have the flashback and he goes to Waller says you have to kill her to stop her, and he's like, I'll do it, and he goes in and he doesn't. He sees this child,
right, and he
waits with her until she dies.
She dies. Yep.
Or in the animated where I think her name's Baby Doll, and she's like in her 30s or 40s, but she looks like a child.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And he's running through, and she's shooting at him, trying to kill him, and he's like, I can help you. There hasn't been that Batman where he's a human first. He's compassionate, but he strikes fear in the hearts of people at the same time.
I think a lot of Hollywood gets stuck on the vengeance side of him.
But I think
that's not what Batman is.
Not really, no.
Batman is how do we deal with trauma in my head.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of it is. Like in
and how do you prevent trauma from happening?
Yeah, that's a lot of what it was called Batman. It was the first storyline of Rebirth, where they had Gotham and Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Batman was like, he said that phrase to him. I can't remember verbatim, but it was like, you stand up to your fear. Like, I'm afraid, but I still do it anyway. Yeah. And that's what inspired that kid to become Gotham, even though he went a little overboard and eventually died.
And I think that's what I think that that's how you deal with trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, you're afraid of it, but you deal with it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that is what's missing from a lot of Batman movies. Mm-hmm. Just like the hope is what's missing from the Superman movies.
It is.
You know? I mean, that's what they nailed with Christopher Reeve, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he has that look to him, too.
Well, I think. And Superman is the embodiment of hope. Mm-hmm. You know? I mean...
Like in Justice League, was it when they had the cell phone video? Mm-hmm. And he's looking like real awkward, like, what are these kids here?
Yeah.
I feel like if they'd played him Superman better, he seems like the guy who'd be jovial. He'd go up to him, kneel down, like, hey, kid, what's up?
Yep.
What can I do for you?
Are you sure you don't watch Nando V movies? Because a lot of what you're saying is coming. He has said in his YouTube channels. Yeah. I just think it's I think it's interesting that there is so much of a cross section.
Yeah.
Between what we think is wrong with the movies or what needs to change.
Because I think it's a lot of what it is.
Yeah.
That's what Superman is.
I mean, which was it, All-Star Superman? Where he saves the suicidal girl by sitting and talking with her.
Yeah.
That scene.
Where he's up on the the rooftop with her and he's like, yeah, your therapist was in traffic. He's late. Don't do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I mean,
the human side to them.
Yeah, and what was the first Zack Snyder? Superman Returns?
No, that was the...
that was the one before it, Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel was the first one.
Where Zod throws a bus and Superman would have caught it. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have let it smash into the building.
Yeah, no, he would sacrifice himself to keep other people alive.
Yep. And that's a lot of what's missing out of that movie. He would not have killed Zod at the end.
No, he wouldn't.
He would have found a way to not kill Zod.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's an interesting take on Superman to what...
I mean, he had no choice, which I guess I could see Superman doing.
If he can snap his neck, he can move his head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if he can move his head, he can prevent him from looking at the family.
Yeah, or I feel like he might, if he would have put his hand over his eyes.
Yeah,
and just took that and hurt himself. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like I said, I think it's interesting to see what Superman would do if he had to kill somebody. Mm-hmm. But the point is that he doesn't.
Yeah. That's what that's a lot of driving force in DC too. Mm-hmm. Except Wonder Woman, she's vicious.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah,
she's an Amazon. Yeah, she's a warrior.
Yeah,
that's
what warriors do.
That's why I think this is really off the wall, but that's why I think she could lift Thor's hammer.
Is because she can kill?
No, because she's a warrior. There hasn't been a clear definition. It's from what I can gather, it's just whoever Odin deems worthy. Right. And she's a warrior. And
Odin would deem that worthy.
Yeah. Like maybe. Superman can't lift it, Batman probably can't. Because I don't see them, they're not warriors, they're protectors, they're guardians. They only fight when they have to.
Yeah, but wouldn't Odin deem that worthy since he's a king?
But he's a conqueror. They conquer worlds, they're warriors. First. Yeah. Or Wonder Woman is a warrior. She fights. That's in her blood.
Yeah, maybe.
Being an Amazon.
I don't know if we'd ever see it.
Her fighting?
No. Them trying to lift Thor's hammer.
Oh, she did in the comics. There was like a crossover where she lifted, yeah.
Do you think we're going to get those?
Probably not.
You don't think we ever get a DC versus Marvel movie?
It would have to be like the deal of the century.
You don't think that in 15 years...
When they run out of stuff to do.
When they're on the downslope and they're at, like... halfway down the downslope. That they don't try throwing crazy stuff like that at the wall.
I could see that then.
I mean, that's why they did it in the comics.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and it exists in the comics, so it can exist in the cinematic universes.
Maybe one day then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope so.
I personally would love to see a Hulk-verse movie, like a real
Hulk versus Wolverine for real.
Hulk versus Wolverine, Hulk versus Thor.
Hugh Jackman has said.
Hugh
Jackman has said he'll come back to being Wolverine if they put him in the Marvel universe, cinematic universe.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he plays a young Wolverine anymore.
No, he'd have to play Old Man Logan.
Yeah. But we already got that.
Yeah. It would have to be, they would have to somehow take him from that universe.
Mm-hmm.
But
maybe we get an Old Man Logan where he actually fights the Hulk at the end and
maybe
goes across the country in the spider bug.
I was about to say, you ever read those? Those are really good.
Oh man, how do you not read it?
It's really graphic.
When you see Wolverine with Hawkeye,
who's blind, but still
in the spider buggy,
yep,
driving across Arizona, how do you not pick that comic book up?
That'd be great.
And go, what is this about? You know?
Mm-hmm. There's been a couple friends I've had that said they want a Spider-Man Deadpool road trip movie.
I do want Deadpool in a Spider-Man movie.
That'd be great.
I want Deadpool to find out that Hugh Jackman is no longer playing Wolverine in the movies.
That'd be good meta.
Because that'd be great meta commentary.
It would.
And on the next page, see that Tom Holland is playing Spider-Man and fall in love with Spider-Man. It's my new beau. Something like that. Oh, that would be priceless. Because he has such a huge crush on Spider-Man in the comics.
Yeah, he does. Because he originally was Spider-Man with katanas.
Yeah. Well, he was Slade.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, that's...
But they took a lot from Spider-Man as far as design and things.
I mean, Marvel or DC made what's his name?
Deathstroke.
No.
Oh, I was talking about Slade, Deathstroke, yeah.
Yeah. DC started it by taking he's the intergalactic bounty hunter, Lobo.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Lobo.
yeah. He's like super
They
hardcore
made
Wolverine.
Lobo to be like, this is what Wolverine would really be like.
Yeah.
Right? So Marvel said, oh yeah, well you're going to do that to one of our characters. We're going to do it to one of yours, and took Slade. And
you know why they call him Slade in Teen Titans? Because they couldn't say death. Couldn't call him Deathstroke for kids.
Yeah. And he's Slade. What's his last
That's his last name, Slade. I can't think of his first name off the top
because
of my
it's
head.
like Wade Wilson.
Yeah, or Slade Wilson. That's what it is.
Slade Wilson or something like that. But yeah, oh man. I think the Deadpool movies are only going to get better.
I hope so. I hope they don't try to Disneyfy them.
I hope we get a Cable in Deadpool buddy cop movie series like we had in the comics.
That'd be great.
I really do. I want Cable and Deadpool buddy cops.
Well, they wanted to make X-Force. They were talking about that before the whole Fox deal thing went down.
I think that's why X-Force in Deadpool 2 died. Because I think they were talking about
No, they wanted to have like Cable part of that, and then him Domino and all that.
I mean, we basically have the founding members of X-Force at the end of Deadpool 2.
Yeah. And I think they were going to jump off, because that was the rumor. But then with the Fox deal, when they bought them, they like crushed that. Or at least put it on the back burner.
How much of that script is already done? And how much does Marvel go, hey, we can knock this out in 9 months?
Yeah.
And bounce back from this whole pandemic thing.
And make an awesome movie.
And
make a ton of money.
And make a ton of money.
Somehow get them in the cinematic universe.
I'm surprised that Black Widow hasn't come out on streaming yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought that was going to be
maybe they'll put it on demand.
Disney Plus's test run at streaming movies instead of sending them to theaters.
I think if they do that, they'll have to charge you for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, because it'll be a $20 download.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, I don't know. I would think by now they would have done it.
Or maybe they're just waiting.
Lost so much money.
Maybe they're just waiting until the theaters open up. Who knows?
I don't know if theaters open.
I kind of forgot about that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
It's all this hit.
Only reason I thought about it is I saw the Legend figures in Meyer today.
Yeah. I feel like Scarlett Johansson's a good.
She's the perfect one.
She fits the physical and the
attitude,
aura.
the aura. Oh yeah. Have you heard the theory that in Infinity War, that wasn't really...
That was a Skrull, maybe?
No, it was her twin sister that's in the Black Widow movie. The chick that she fight, the blonde chick that she fights in that movie.
Okay. It could be.
In the comics, God, I can't remember her name, but she took over for Black Widow for a while in the comics.
Okay.
And that's why in Infinity War, her hair is blonde, why she wears the vest, why she dresses the way, it's why she doesn't interact quite the same.
I could see that. That would make the sacrifice...
It's a setup for... No.
A little bit different.
That way they can bring...
Yeah.
Scarlett Jo back as the original Black Widow.
I think that makes the sacrifice less...
Yeah, but if you do it in 4 movies...
No, I mean her dying for Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know Hawkeye. So,
Well, that was... In the comics, she was implanted with Black Widow's memories.
Okay.
So she would have had...
That. I guess if you go that way, then yeah, then she would still make sense.
If you do that in 3 or 4 movies, you have that reveal.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
It takes a lot of the sting out of that,
But I kind of like them killing characters and them staying dead.
I do like that.
I like finality of certain things.
I do like that. I do like that none of the villains have come back. I do like that, when we're done with Ironmonger, we're done. And we don't go back. And I hope that kind of sticks with it, at least with the villains. But on the other hand, if we're getting a Thunderbolts movie, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those dead bad guys have to come back. And that's kind of the reveal.
Yeah.
Is that
I think
Thunderbolt Ross has been keeping these bad guys off the radar.
Yeah.
And gathering them up.
I wonder if they'll make him Red Hulk.
I think you have to.
That'd be cool.
Supposedly, at the end of Black Widow, the after credits scene is him doing something with the super soldier suit.
Okay.
That's why the Russian Captain America is in the movie.
Okay.
So that
Captain Russia. Yeah, I don't know what his name is, but yeah.
He was only in he was only in one comic series.
Okay.
Or one storyline in the comics. But supposedly Thunderbolt Ross. That's the end credit scene.
I really wish they would have had more, because I don't really I like Ruffalo as the Hulk. I think that Hulk is great.
I think it's the best one.
But I don't think it's a good Hulk. As far as him, I think I actually like Edward Norton was better.
Bruce Banner.
No.
But not a good Hulk.
No, I think he's a good Hulk, but he's a bad Bruce Banner.
Really?
Yeah. There's like an it was Earth 1 comic or something like that. It was like a one shot, and it had Bruce Banner meeting Amadeus Cho because they killed him off for a while.
Yeah. Yep.
And he time travels, and it was after he was back to being Bruce Banner, and he came to a city or a town or something like that, and he's eating out of a dumpster, and Amadeus is like, "Why don't we? There's a diner. I'll buy you something." He's like, "I can't be around people. I'll kill them. I'll go." I think they lost a lot of Hulk's rage
of it.
Yeah, of him not being around people.
I think a lot of that was because they couldn't put out a solo Hulk movie.
Yeah, good
and
rights.
They've kind of done that in the background of the Marvel movies.
Kind of, yeah. They did that with the first movie with Edward Norton. That's why I like that movie so much.
What I'm saying is if you look at the MCU after Edward Norton, right? We get What's Your Secret? That's my secret. I'm always angry, right? That's Edward Norton. That's where Edward Norton left off.
Yeah.
Right? Is he had figured out how to always be angry and be able to call on the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And then we kind of get like World War Hulk. We kind of get...
Sort of. World Breaker Hulk.
No, not World Breaker's when he comes back.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah,
Planet
it is.
Hulk.
Yeah.
is when he's the Gladiator.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I always just called him
kinda
World Breaker Hulk.
We kind of get his love story from
Sakaar.
the 80s with Black Widow.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved with Black Widow in the comics, but like in the 80s he had like a love interest that wasn't Jennifer Ross.
Okay.
Right? And he had kind of moved on from that. And she helped him control it. Hulk and...
What was her name, Jennifer? I thought it was like Betty or something.
Betty Ross.
Betty
right?
Ross,
Betty
yeah.
Ross. I was thinking it because it's Aerosmith's daughter.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he had like that kind of deal in the 80s where he was in love with a woman and she could turn the Hulk off when the Hulk could come up. And he thought that he could have some kind of normal life because of that, which we kind of get in Age of Ultron a little bit.
Kind of, yeah.
Get a taste of it at least. And then we get a taste of Planet Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get a taste of Professor Hulk.
Yeah, I know they kind of had to do it that way.
So,
and I understand it, and that's why I'm like, I give that a
but it's
pass.
still not fulfilling.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I wanted that rage.
Yeah.
I wanted him really going all out. They had to call on somebody like the Sentry to fight him.
I think that's what I think that here in the next couple of years, Universal is going to end up selling the Hulk to Disney.
That would be a great flip back of him like, oh, Professor Hulk only lasted so long. And the Hulk wants out.
Yeah, I think, and they've done it in the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, have you read the Immortal Hulk?
Yeah. I have the first like 10 issues or so.
I mean, that was a really interesting take on it.
It is. It's really different where he comes back and he's like,
and why he can't die and why all these, he always seems to be fighting someone who's kind of like he is. I mean,
they've done that whole he can't die thing a lot though. But that's not
in the comics or in the movie?
In the comics.
Well, yeah, that's kind of one of his
things.
sticks,
Yeah, but that's something I love about him though. He's forever tortured.
Yeah, and that's what I think the Hulk is the only one that is kind of a DC character, not a Marvel character.
In that regard, yeah, where he has something that's torturing him and wanting him to do better.
That
in a way.
That Banner is kind of the costume.
Yeah.
And the Hulk is who he really is.
Yeah, he was talking, there was that panel I saw. It was him talking to the Dalai Lama, and he's like, he couldn't understand why the Hulk was so angry, and he's like, is it you turning into the Hulk, or is it the Hulk turning into you? And that's why he's so angry.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's that great, have you seen the Hulkverse animated movies?
Yeah.
Where he fights Thor and ends up in hell. And hell won't take him because it's only half a soul.
Yeah, that was sad.
Oh yeah. That's what a lot of what is missing with the Hulk.
But like I loved it. It was great. It was hilarious. Him and Thor every so often he punched
great.
Thor.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that rage, that sadness that made the Hulk what he was. That you didn't.
And
I
think that's what you see him coming to grips with on Sakaar in Ragnarok.
A little bit.
And that's why, and I think that's why Hulk loses to Thanos, is because he can't tap into that rage anymore because
I never thought of it that way.
Down a little, because Banner has tempered him a little by being the Hulk for so long.
I never thought of it that way.
Just rage.
I just thought it was Thanos wasn't as powerful physically, but he was just more skilled, and he whooped him, and he hurt his confidence because no one had ever done that.
I think there is a lot of that too, but I think one of the underlying like issues is that being the Hulk for so long, the Hulk lost a lot of his rage because
he was free.
He can't be angry all the time like that, right?
I guess maybe being free, he'd had nothing to be angry about.
That also, I think that's a very good point. But I think that's what a lot of Planet Hulk, at least in the comics, kind of.
Yeah, he settled down in the comics. He had a kid.
Yep, he had a wife, everything.
I think he had two
and
kids.
It took everyone dying to get World Breaker Hulk back.
Yeah. Which I like that. And I like he fought one of the like he fought Juggernaut and he just threw him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I like that he fought Colossus and he's like, at one point you would have been maybe my equal, but
Not right now.
I'm gonna swat you. But Colossus is like, all right, I got to do this anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I really enjoy the Planet Hulk, or the World Breaker Hulk.
Yeah, I like that he could fight. He fought Sentry too. I really like Sentry. I think he's really underrated.
Sentry is kind of a Miracle Man type character in the DC
Sort
or
of.
in the Marvel comics, because he knows there's something special about him, but he doesn't know what it is, and everybody has erased him. He's been erased from everybody's memories.
In the new Sentry comic, he knows, but he keeps
because Reed Richards
yeah
had brought it back
and he has this device that Richard gave him
to control it.
Yeah, that let him live a normal life,
Yep.
being a regular person.
Yep, but before that,
Yeah,
his
that's
backstory was interesting.
yeah, that's mainly to keep the Void at bay. Mm-hmm. But that also keeps Sentry away because Sentry wasn't bad.
Right.
It was the Void that was bad.
But they were the same.
Yeah, they're two halves of the same coin.
Yep.
But the hero Sentry would be a hero up until he lost control. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was so powerful that there was no other way that Richards at the time could think of to stop it.
But it's funny that he didn't. It's funny that he fought Hulk as Sentry, but he never lost control and became the Void.
I think it's because it's such a short fight.
It could be, but I mean, it pushed him.
Yeah.
And they canceled out basically.
Well, that's what the Sentry likes about Hulk, is that he can actually just let loose.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think his aura calms down the Hulk a bit.
a little bit.
I think it weakens him.
Hulk also gets to just rage against him.
That's true.
You know,
But I don't know. Maybe it was just.
it's
something.
an interesting dynamic between them.
It really is, and that's awesome to see the Sentry in movies, but I don't think that'll happen.
I think there's a lot of people we don't see in the movies just because they're too OP. They're too overpowered.
100%.
I think Doctor Doom is probably one that we don't really see the way we should.
We could, but it would have to be very early and not endgame, like not later on. Super powerful. You would have to have him.
It depends on how well the new Fantastic Four movies are going to do, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
You can always have that Richards versus Doom battle going on.
I don't think they will because they flopped so many times. Because they haven't been done well.
If it's a good one, if it's good, it's going to be good.
But I think they look at it not necessarily. I think they look at it from a money point, going, "We're not. Do we really want another one?" Because
they're doing another one.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Yeah.
Yeah, they tease it at the end of the movie.
Do they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in forever. I saw it when it came out, and that's
Not
it.
Homecoming. I'm sorry, the second one.
Oh, and Far From Home.
Yeah, they tease the Fantastic Four at the end of that.
I don't remember that.
I mean, it's not. It's just like their emblem, just their symbol.
Okay.
But
I don't remember that.
they do tease them. It's in.
I didn't really like that movie.
Well, that's because you don't really remember it because at the end, Mysterio has told the world.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's Peter Parker.
I love that they got what's his name to be J. Jonah Jameson. That was great.
He's the only one that can do it.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought Far From Home was great.
I
thought it was a really great Mysterio.
Yeah.
Storyline.
Yeah. It just they tease it being in Paris or not Paris, but Paris and all these, but they don't really show a lot of it. A lot of it's zoomed in on them.
Because I don't think it matters where it is.
But
I think that at the end, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out in the next movie that Peter really didn't go anywhere. That Mysterio just had him in illusions the whole time.
It could be.
Wouldn't that be good?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that'd be a great setup for Mysterio.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, think about it. In the comics, in the cartoons and animated stuff, right?
Yeah, Mysterio's 4D chess.
How does Mysterio catch Spider-Man? It's always in his warehouse. Mm-hmm. He's always got a bunch of props and da-da-da, right? So what if that's what happened in Far From Home? Spider-Man swung in to Mysterio's
And that's all been one big illusion.
And it's all been one big illusion.
I think
the only thing that messes that up is the Skrull Sam Jackson reveal at the end.
Yeah.
But who's to say that the Sam Jackson that we're watching at the end of that movie is the same one that was in The Illusion?
Who knows? I think it'd be better for the Sinister Six thing to come about if Spider-Man was outed, and they say
maybe, yeah.
Well, Vulture's fought him. What if we just let him loose? What if we Suicide Squad this and say, oh well, Spider-Man will be the first, and next we're gonna take down another superhero because they're off the grid and we don't control them.
And that's a good Thunderbolt setup too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
but they've teased the Sinister Six, with Vulture.
So many times. Oh, yeah, they've teased the Sinister Six. This is what, the third time they've teased it, because it was teased at the end of Raimi's series. Because there was supposed to be 6 movies.
There's supposed to be a ton of them.
Right. Then they teased it at the end of the Garfield series. Right.
Yeah, and with the Rhino and all that.
Teasing it again. Right. I don't know if we ever get a Sinister Six.
It would have to be. It's so hard to do stuff because you have to do so much prep work, and the Marvel Universe has been around for so long. People are getting burned out.
I think a Sinister Six movie is the way to go.
That's true.
And I think you do it as part of a trilogy.
Yeah, it would have to be like a whole.
And they become the Sinister Six in the last movie.
Yeah, that's just so much setup. It's hard to do that.
I mean, they're setting up Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
Venom universe.
I didn't like that Venom movie either.
And neither did I. But I'm such a
Even Tom Hardy didn't.
I'm such a huge Venom fan.
Oh, I love Venom.
I mean, he is... Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. But Venom, man, he is right up there as my favorite villain.
Yeah,
I think
because he's an anti-hero.
Joker.
He's great in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can be good or bad.
Oh, yeah.
And he's good at being both.
But I'm more of a fan of the suit than who's in the suit.
Okay.
Like, I love seeing Venomized Wolverine, Venomized Hulk.
See, yeah, I assume you've been through the whole Venomized, the Venom universe and all that.
I'm getting into that again.
That gets crazy.
I've read quite a few of the, standalone series, where Venom gets stuck in Alaska and tries to latch onto Wolverine because Wolverine can heal.
Yeah.
So that's a host that he can have forever.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah. Or same thing with Hulk, where he's on Hulk, but he can't cover all of Hulk up.
I think Wolverine can eventually die. I think he just lives a really long time.
I don't know. How do you kill him?
You'd have to destroy...
He hasn't been killed yet, successfully.
You'd have to get rid of the adamantium, and you'd have to destroy his entire body where there's nothing left.
They did that.
No, they haven't.
Yeah,
they burned him down to the adamantium skeleton.
In the comics, when he's trapped in the adamantium, they pour hot adamantium over him, right?
Yeah.
Which would get rid of the adamantium skeleton.
No, but it was still there.
Melt and disintegrate all of his flesh.
But the stuff inside of his bones and things were protected by it.
Maybe, and that's I don't know. Adamantium's got to be pretty hot.
But it can't be reheated, though. It can't be redone. The only way to break it is
but he's trapped in adamantium.
Oh, I know. And that's
in a statue position.
But they pulled him out, though, and he was there.
I'm just saying, I mean...
You'd have to get rid of the adamantium to be able to destroy all the physical cells for nothing, for no trace of him to be there.
I think you just throw him into the sun.
Throw
him into the sun.
Even that wouldn't destroy the adamantium, though.
Yeah, but he's not getting off of it.
No, yeah. Same thing with the adamantium prison.
Yeah.
Molecule Man.
I think Molecule Man could definitely
100%. He would just...
Yeah, just poof him out of existence.
Gone, yeah.
So if Molecule Man could Franklin Richards.
Yeah, 100%.
Could Wanda.
Yeah. Anyone with reality bending abilities.
Okay, so what about Shadow King?
I don't know much about him. But anybody who can manipulate matter or reality.
Shadow King is one of the oldest psychic villains. Yeah. Psychic mutants, I guess I should say.
Okay.
He trapped Storm for a while. Aurora trapped her whole village in a psychic plane and controlled them.
Okay.
He's up there with Apocalypse in age.
Okay.
And probably, outside of Apocalypse, probably one of the more dangerous bad guys because of how strong he is psychically. I mean, he gives Professor X a run for his money. Professor X has a hard time beating him.
Yeah, he can't outrun him, though.
Bravo. Good dad joke.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, it was right there. But yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah, anybody who can manipulate matter, reality, any of that can kill essentially anybody, really.
Yeah.
Anyone under their power.
Well, that's because they just blink them out of existence.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Earthbound, because I like to... it's with, like, Omega level and all that. Mm-hmm. There's classes. There's kind of, Earthbound superheroes who are... Like, Superman's the bench for that, I think.
What?
Of Earthbound superheroes, where he's the highest end of Earthbound who can kind of go toe-to-toe with gods, but still would lose. But he's the pinnacle of Earth.
I don't know.
And then there's that tier above him.
I think he beats gods.
Some.
I mean...
He can go, like when he fights, like, Atlas or somebody.
You've got to watch. You've got to read Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
Download it. It's free.
But I mean,
$5.99 a month.
That's my benchmark, is that his strength, because he's still mortal. Mm-hmm. Like there was, Arrow, Green Arrow makes super hot chili. Mm-hmm. And it was in some goofy comic, I can't remember. But Superman can't eat it, but Batman can. Because Batman has a pain tolerance, and Superman rarely gets hurt. So, but he's mortal, and spicy things he's super enhanced too.
Still affected by it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so like, even though disease wouldn't affect him from Earth, but if he had a Kryptonian virus, it would still kill him, or something like something physiological can kill him.
That's a good point.
Because he's still flesh and blood.
Comes from the sun, though.
Yeah, but he's still flesh and blood. He's immortal, not immortal.
I think he's pretty much immortal.
As long as there's sunlight, Superman will live. There was that whole series about him living and becoming Superman 1,000,000 because he outlived everyone he ever loved and knew.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes off and becomes a god, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in Flashpoint, in the animated, they break him out because he's kept under Red Sun.
Yep.
His entire existence, basically.
Yep. Then he gets to kind of learn his powers and all that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know where my line is.
But I think he's a good benchmark because he can still be killed, but he's powerful. He's the highest of the strength-wise.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that's a good... I think you make an excellent point there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then you can use somebody else for magic ability, like Doctor Strange.
Right.
He's the strongest earthbound magician. Mm-hmm. But then there are cosmic entities that are more powerful than he is in magic.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the most powerful would be? What do you think the most powerful that we will see on the screen?
Maybe like the one of a ball kind of thing, but I think it would be in like a more like a Contact situation, the movie Contact, where somebody comes up and it's like, I run this. I'm the one above all, and I'm gonna give you a chance. You can go back and change this, kind of thing.
That's a good idea. Well, we're getting Eternals, so that means we're getting Celestials, and we've already had one Celestial with Ego.
He's not a Celestial in the comics, though.
He's not. He's an amalgamation of a couple of different people in the movie.
Yeah, but in the comics, he has a couple different.
In the comics, he's just the living planet.
Yeah, he was like
kind of like the Green Lantern. That's a planet.
Yeah, but he was born. I think one of his origins was he's like the essence of all of his race together. They were destroyed or something like that.
I don't know.
I think he's one of those been retconned a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know much about Ego, just because he's so
obscure,
and random. I mean,
I looked this up just to kind of get. I'm like, he's not a Celestial, so I looked some of it up. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. He's got a bunch of different origins.
Yeah. So I think he fits that role pretty good.
Yeah, for movie purposes, it's good.
So we know there's Celestials in the movies.
Mm-hmm. Right? And you see him like with the stone where they had the big one, big Celestial when they were going over the.
Oh yeah.
And he just calmed it down. That's actually one of the Celestials, but I can't think of his name.
So how much farther than Celestials do we get Watchers? We've seen them.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do anything.
Right, but we've seen them.
Yeah.
So do we get the Beyonder?
Maybe. I feel like if anyone's cosmic level, it would be just brief, and he would just do one, maybe two things.
I don't know.
I think you would have to have
Galactus at some point.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing Fantastic Four. Galactus has got to come in, which means Silver Surfer has got to come in.
I think they would have to be the strongest you would see.
And we've seen Adam Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
He's being made
kind of
right now.
See him in the little tube thing.
Yeah, he's being baked.
Yeah.
To whatever.
Put in the oven.
Put in the oven, made right now. So those we're getting some pretty high level celestial beings that are coming
cosmic level entities.
Cosmic level, yeah. that are coming into the universe.
Yeah, that's what I like to look like Galactus. I say this cosmic level. Mm-hmm. And then there's there's like
but like Galactus is like low tier cosmic level.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then there's people
Thanos
above him.
can beat Galactus.
Yeah.
With the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, I mean, anybody could then. Yeah. If that bends reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the Infinity Gauntlet was supposed to be like the strongest thing ever.
It was kind of made from the primordial force that created everything.
Yeah, and now in the comics, we have people wielding 2 Infinity Gauntlets.
Yeah, stuff gets a little ridiculous when you run out of ideas.
I mean, when you start getting into... Yeah, but how much is that? I mean, look at Battleworld with Doctor Doom. Mm-hmm. Did you ever read that?
A little bit, yeah.
Series.
I kind of... there's a lot of stuff I've just kind of glossed over. But I know it gets crazy.
Yeah, at one point, so there's incursions, which are kind of...
Yeah, they have the big walls between everything.
No, the incursions are where one Earth runs into another, one universe.
Oh, yeah, that's when they use they tried to stop it with the Infinity Gauntlet and it destroyed itself.
Yeah, and they destroyed the other one. Yep.
Yeah, because Dr. Doom had that...
to end it, to stop the incursions, Dr. Doom and the Molecule Man...
Yeah, they set up that Battle World thing.
Set up Battle World.
Yeah.
So they have one place that's safe, so that they can kind of send all the other Molecule Men to blow up all the other universes. Mm-hmm. It gets crazy.
Yeah, that's where
that's where Doctor Doom is a god.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's where they had the Old Man Logan verse. They had the zombies and everything. Because there was a little bit of Old Man. Yeah, because he traveled for everything.
Yeah. Yep.
But he never got infected by the zombies, though.
Who?
Old Man Logan.
That's because of his healing.
Yeah, but Wolverine did. And that.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's just maybe Old Man Logan already fought off the zombies and had the antibodies for it. Maybe it takes a year for Wolverine to fight off the zombie infection.
It could be. Or maybe it's just his is better. Or just different universe. So different flaws of physics.
We know that Old Man Logan is a different universe.
Yeah, 100%.
Or a different reality than our Wolverine.
Yeah. This is really way off. Mm-hmm. You ever watch Buffy or any of that? Or Angel?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Well, there's an episode where Angel in the series, they go to a different reality. Mm-hmm. And he's a vampire,
Right.
And they travel through this portal in his old car. I can't remember. It was a classic. It was like a 67 something. Mm-hmm. They go through it, and it's the sunlight, and he's like, oh, shit. And he realizes he's not burning. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, different laws of physics, different universe.
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't affect me.
Exactly. And then we have who makes the multiverses, who controls the multiverses. That's in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah.
The newest one, at least, that I've read.
I haven't read through that yet. Man, we're almost at 3 hours.
I could talk this all day.
Oh, I know. Let's wrap this up because this is going to be a bitch to edit.
Yeah, but anyway, in that universe, there are gardeners and tenders and all of these things for the multiverse. It gets stupid crazy.
Oh, I believe it.
But I don't know how much of that makes it into the movies.
Not much. You can't have everything.
Depends on how long it goes.
I think they can have little flashes of it.
Mm-hmm. I guess it just completely depends on how long the cinematic universe is able to last.
It could go on forever.
Oh, yeah.
And
just like the comics.
Yeah.
And how small of a profit margin do they need to not make before they stop?
I think it depends on the toy sales, too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, but everything all around.
From the movie itself, I mean, we've seen with DCU that it doesn't take much for them to go, and go on to the next thing, you know?
That's true.
Hopefully it sticks around a while. Hopefully DCU gets their shit together and
makes a good universe.
And
I'm sure they
hopefully
will.
in 15 years we get to see DC versus Marvel on the big screen. Watch Wonder Woman punch Hulk.
That'd be an interesting fight.
Oh, it'd be great.
Because their weapons are godlike, so they could pierce the skin.
Maybe.
They should be able to.
Maybe they meet in a different universe and it's different laws of physics.
I don't know.
But
I mean, if we just went by, everything being even, it would make sense because he's mortal,
right?
So he should be able to be hurt by god weapons.
Yep. But I mean, Thor's hammer seems to hurt him pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Wolverine can slash him.
Wolverine can slash him.
Yeah.
But he heals so quickly.
It doesn't matter, basically.
It doesn't matter.
It just pisses him off.
Yeah.
That'd be a great
Does
movie.
that happen with Wonder Woman's weapons?
I don't know. Would it heal as quickly, or would it have a lasting effect with god energy? I don't know. Maybe.
That's what it can go anywhere.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's call this one and
yeah.
Till the next time. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.